Hey everybody, welcome into the Bee Hive. I'm your host, TheBee at LLC, and this is where we stack precious metals like it's pollen and nectar. Our pollen is silver, and our nectar is gold, preserving our wealth as honey of old. And we hold our own. So, sorry about the delays. And yes, we will get going here. If anybody does not know about the instructions, you can come back here and pull them up and read them. I think I will in the future put a link and go through the notes there, and then people can go check that out if needed, so I don't need to go over it every time. 888 the Great, yo, what is up? How you doing? And so, yeah, let's just jump right into it here and get going since I'm late. So, you're going to have to bear with me. I am a little behind and not really on focus. So, this is going to be a slow auction. But I want to talk about a few things. So, but let me get set up here. Uh-oh, 888 found his yellow jackets. How did that ordeal work out for you? Okay. Okay, so the special of the night are these. The Buy It Now special is the Golden State Mint 3/9 Fine Silver Buffalo at $38. So at any time throughout the night, you would like a 999 1 ounce silver round at $38. Just type in BIN special and tell me how many you would like. And I can sell up to 10 at a time. And so that is available at any time throughout the night. The next item that is available throughout the night is the ancient coin that is up for sale. Oh, Space Miner, welcome in. The ancient coin is the Acarnania Anactorium 320 to 380 BC stater, 8.57 grams of silver. The also known as Pegasus coin. Let me see if I can play a little. I think I have. Which, okay. And then let's try making some adjustments here. Oh, I can't right now. So, okay. So, yeah, that is the ancient coin for tonight's auction. So at any time throughout the auction, if you would like to buy that, you can just type in BIN ancient, buy it now ancient, and we will get that taken care of for you. So those are the two options, the go-to options throughout the night. You have your option of the ancient coin up for buy it now, and the Golden State Mint 3/9 fine 1 ounce silver buffaloes, up to 10 at a time. And if you wait to the end of the auction, I will put the ancient coin up for a reduced price. So stay tuned for that if you are interested. And with that, I'm going to back out. And we'll get going here. Yeah, I'm just by myself tonight. Again, I'm sorry about the delay tonight and that I am by myself. I thought I would just chat with the chat because I've been busy this week trying to catch up around the house and the family, and I did not get a guest lined up. If someone wants to hop on, let me know. I'll drop a link in for you. Caitlin Clark, yeah, you think I could get Caitlin Clark on there, 888? Okay, so what else? I think we can go ahead and get started here. I wanna talk here in a little bit about patriotism as we get going, and some interesting things that I'm finding are interesting to me. So, oh, yeah. No, I am going to try to bear with me for 1 minute here, guys. I'm going to try to get my camera up so you can see me as well. So, hold on. Where should I put myself in this picture? Try it right there till it bothers me. Okay. Man, you can almost see the buy it now special just as good without that camera on there. Which do you like better? Do you like the camera showing the buy it now special, or would you rather have it like this? Can you read it like that? Okay. What does the chat prefer? Do you like the direct video? Does that give you a better visual on the buffaloes, or should I just leave the screen from the main camera and you can still just about see as much? Hey, Joseph Lopez, good to see you. Hope you are well. Camera is better. All right, thank you, Joseph. Appreciate it. Autocorrect has gone wild lately. Makes no difference to 888. All right, well, we'll go with the camera then until I hear otherwise. Okay. So let's put out our first thing for the night. I want to start off with the Widow's Mite. So if anyone would like a Widow's Mite, let me know. I have 3 different options available for this. And And so I have a $45, which is going to be kind of like this condition. You're going to get a nice full anchor there, and or a nice wheel or half a wheel. You're going to get quite a bit of detail with the 45. Then you have a $40 option, which is almost as nice as the 45, but a bit less. And then the least is a $35 option. They're all pretty close, but you know, this would be one of the nicer ones. And I'll show you the cheapest one. So these would be available at $35. This would be your cheapest one. You still can make out that anchor pretty well. It's a nice full flange hit there, and you've got a little bit of the wheel going on there. You have a nice offcut right here on the side, so this should probably, I should have probably priced this at the 40. So this actual piece with the flange rail left on there is pretty sweet. So this would be a great buy at $35, or this one is also $35. And you've got 3/4 of your anchor there, nice center strike, and you got a fair bit of info on the wheel, a little bit off, but either one of those are actually pretty good for $35. So, or you have the middle at 40 or the best at 45. So if anybody wants one of those, let me know, and then let me know which value you would prefer. And oh, I gotta pull up something here. So yeah, you can, again, the range is $35 up to $45, 40 being the middle point. And let me know if you would like one of those before we move on. Okay, so my video is blocking the timer now. But I guess you can see the top, which is works about as well. The widow herself might have owned that. Wouldn't that be something? That is a crazy thought to think. It is indeed quite possible. Well, I don't know about quite possible, but it is indeed possible. Even just the fact that we can hold the same coin that she held is pretty amazing. Yeah, time is running out. Time is running out, and I don't think we are in Kansas anymore. I do not think so. Jesus spent coins, yeah, and he had somebody go get his tribute money out of a fish's mouth. I thought that was pretty impressive. Let me throw my invite in here, just in case. Somebody wants to pop up. But in the meantime, yeah, I wanted to just brush over some things that I thought were interesting about what I'm noticing in the world today, and like on patriotism and this type of issue. I've been noticing some interesting things. John Camper, good to see you. Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. We have a widow's mite, one of 3 different options, from $45 down to $35. And so I have them in the $35 range, the $40 range, and the $45. This is an example of what a $45 example gets you. Gets you a good full anchor there. And then on the reverse of this one, you've got a good deep strike there with about 1/2 of a wheel. So, but this is a nice example, definitely worth the $45 in my opinion. You pay a lot more for getting a lot less in a slab. So it depends on how you want to do that. Okay, and of course, yes, all ancient coins sold from me come with a lifetime money-back guarantee to be genuine, so you have no worries there. But onward with the issue of patriotism, and this is probably, I probably shouldn't even talk about it, but it's just I don't, for me, I feel like, I'm patriotic, but I noticed that I seem to view patriotism maybe differently than others. And that's the thing, is we all have to, use our understandings throughout life to build as good of a foundation to stand on as we can. So I'm not at all claiming that I have all the answers, by no means, or I'm right or anything, but I just have to kind of go from what I view to be the best and most honest, and that's kind of the thing with patriotism. What I liked, why I'm patriotic, is because we had so many strengths that we used to stand on as a country. And all right, we're out of time here. I'm going to count that one down. So yeah, it was more what we stood for as a nation that I was patriotic about, and that we tried to live justly and honestly, and at least what a lot of the founding documents said about us, I found to be sound good. At least the principle as it comes off, I thought was good. So that's what made me patriotic. But now I feel like we're really starting to sway there, and for sure in a lot of areas, whether we all probably have our opinions on that, but so I don't support all the what I consider to be evil and lies, and I don't support that. I wouldn't care what country I was in or where I was at. Again, that's why I was, feel patriotic to begin with, is what we were founded on as a country, not necessarily where we're headed right now. So That's kind of a key difference. I find I definitely notice that there seems to be like oh, I'm Pittsburgh Steelers. That's my. It's like you're going off of just no matter what happens. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so I'm always you just cheering for Pittsburgh because it's your team, and that's for me. That's just that's crazy. That's it's ridiculous in my opinion. Gatita Oso, welcome in. Good to see you. So, what's next here? Let's put out a piece of platinum. This is the new platinum kookaburra. They're 10th ounce. So I started stacking the platinum kookaburra when it first came out. I believe was 2020. And so this is their 5th 10th ounce platinum coin. It's 4 9s fine, or 3 9s 5 fine. Looks like we got a rhino joining us here. Hold on 1 second and I'll bring you up there. So 3 9s 5 platinum, pure platinum. And this is the 5th edition of the kookaburra and the Australian 10th ounce kookaburra. This is the 5th edition. So they started in 2020, and I just picked this one up. It just came out, so I grabbed an extra. So if anybody wants the 5th of the platinum kookaburra 10th ounce edition, this is what it looks like. And it looks like there must be another little logo in that bottom sun, or maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if I can tell. Let me see if I can get it. Is that just a solid circle, or is there supposed to be some image in there? It might just be a solid circle being the sun, huh? Anyway, pretty cool piece. And let me get that loaded up for you. Bring up Mr. Rhino. Welcome into the Beehive. Thanks for popping in. How you doing? Bellows Forge. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you are well.
I'm up, Emma. I was against the strike in Iran, so I'm now a Rhino. But it's okay.
You were already a Rhino last time I talked to you, so you're solid in that camp. It sounds like.
Right. I don't follow anybody particular just because of his name or even what he's done before. I go by what you're doing now. So I cannot support. If I can't support something, I can't support it. I don't care who it is. If it was my brother.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying is that, the reason I was patriotic was because of some of the things that I felt our country stood for that were upright and honest and based off of good, solid moral structure. And now that
we didn't get off to a good start when we took the way we treated the Native Americans. I don't think we set too good a track record starting off. Right?
Right, that's for sure. Right there is a great example, and that's what that's the sad thing is how much of what we're told and propagandized is completely backwards and upside down as much of the propaganda today is. So that's why I was saying, like, in our Constitution, there's some, at least as you read it and it comes off, I like a lot of the foundation there. That's why I was patriotic. We hold these rights to be self-evident. It was just they were taking what was basically natural law, agreed upon by most all civilization, and they were just kind of putting it to paper. Some of those basic ordinances I like the idea of,
Another black eye is slavery. Whereas, define a man. Just because you're black don't mean you're a man. Yet the Constitution, if you go by the Constitution, because they were men, they have the same rights as us, but yet we enslaved them. So there's another black eye. So should I keep going?
Oh, feel free to throw in where you want to. That's the thing for me is I notice like there's a group out there that it doesn't matter. Like I really don't think, if you're approaching it from, well, I'm looking at how this group is acting and I'm looking at how this group is acting and who's actually the one that's being evil and underhanded and lying and cheating and stealing, that's the way I would approach pretty much any of these types of conflicts. If it's a fight on the street, right? If it's some big bully beating on a woman, well, I'm automatically going to be on the woman's side until I find out otherwise. So,
until you find out it's really not a woman.
Right. Until you find out something, there's something more to do with it that you didn't see. But that's the thing is you always have to keep your mind open to what the true reality of the situation is, in my opinion. Whereas, it seems like for a lot of people, it's just, oh, well, my favorite football team is the Broncos and I live in the USA. So that's just who I root for, period, no matter what. And that just is cognitive dissonance, in my opinion. And it's scary to see that. Now, I think, patriotism is a good thing, but if it's based off of good things, so.
Yeah, you must have the guts to stand up for what's right, even if it's your country. You must say, that is not moral, or, we shouldn't be doing that. If we didn't have those people, then what would we be? So it's important to have opposition.
Yeah. Yeah, and that could be true, Gold Maple. There may be things, I'm no expert in any of these areas. I'm just pointing out for me, there were things about the Constitution that I liked, and it was the righteousness or what appeared to me as the best way to live out your life. And that's the right, the right to life, liberty, and happiness, as long as you're not stealing or defrauding or murdering or any of those list of things that we kind of put in there as long as you're not this, then you have the right to life, liberty, and happiness and those things, and those are self-evident, right? These are natural laws that should be understandable where you're coming from without having to list them on paper, but that they listed them on paper to point them out, that this is things that we're recognizing. So, when you're looking at it through those lenses, I'm patriotic in those ways. But if you look at how we're acting now and all the things that we're now legalizing, and even then you can even take that deeper and look at legal as opposed to lawful, because it's supposed to just be lawful, but now we're under legal instead of lawful. So there's all this trickery, in my opinion, that's going on, and you have to take these things into account. You can't just be rah because I was born.
Let me ask you a question. Were Americans freer in the 1700s or now?
1700s. Oh man. Oh well, I would say much freer but I wasn't there, so it's hard for me to say. What I was taught, I would say freer.
Right. You didn't have to have a hunting license. You didn't have to have a fishing license.
I know, right?
You basically could just find land. You didn't really have to buy it. You found it, you homesteaded it, and you made it yours.
Yeah.
A lot more freedom.
Yeah, I may agree with you on like some of the Indian, I do see that, I have a feeling after seeing other things that, we may have treated the Indians badly. Now, I'm sure that they had some attacks on us as well, and I'm not really taking sides there. But again, it's not just cut and dry, I don't think. I'm sure there was some mischief on our behalf. So
if you heard about the copper mine, didn't you, that was on a reservation? and we came in and basically took it from them, and we're gonna mine for copper, and I don't think they're going to get 1 cent of it. And so we've done it again, and that's today. We're doing it. We're still doing it.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's it. Not just still doing it. It's like we're on hyperdrive doing it. I mean, you know, it's I don't know. For me, I'm seeing it seems like a lot of things that aren't necessarily done for righteousness sakes, or we're going to stand on truth and reality, and we're not going to be. That's not what I see in us right now, and that's what's making me nervous. Like that to me is what you see. A lot of the actions I'm seeing from us right now are actions you see at the falls of empires, and then looking at our monetary system, you know, they line up perfectly, you know, one on top of the other, and so, and then with some of the, you know, the lies. Now the thing is you get it kind of from all sides, so it gets a little confusing, but we're definitely not amongst the most truthful in the media as far as, you know, being truthful about what we're doing.
the system is created to put all of us in debt so that we are controlled. You control people by putting them in debt, because then you owe them. And then when you owe somebody, they can dictate to you what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. That's what it's all about, I think. That's what's going on.
Yeah. And well, yeah. And in my mind, like I've been following this for quite a while, is that, you know, we've been taken over quite a while ago, and they're kind of trying to play this out puppeteer like, making us follow along thinking all this is taking place in real time, but this has all been scripted out in my opinion. And
John Camper's got a question for me. I do have a lot of copper, John Camper. I have it in all different forms. I've got it in bars. I've actually got some of the coins. I don't really buy the 1 ounce coins, because copper would have to get the probably $50 a pound to ever get your money back on them. But I do have scrap copper. I have copper that's in silverware, that's silver plated. It's copper underneath. I've got copper in that form. I've got copper bars. My copper bars are beautiful. A copper bar is far more beautiful than a gold bar. I can tell you that right now. So, yeah.
I know. I think Space Miner says that too. He likes the look of copper more than gold. I think you're both off your rocker. In fact, I don't even like the what was the first gold coin that came out with the deer on it, the antelope on it from
Ran? Krugerrand?
Krugerrand, yeah. That's too copper for me as far as my taste goes. So
No, I like them. I do like them. That's a good coin to have, because for the world, because all the world knows what a Krugerrand is. But I think the ultimate gold coin to have is the American $20 double eagle. I think it is the standard for a gold coin, and I think it's better than having a gold eagle. But that's just my opinion. But when I've dealt with people and I've had those, when I put it up, hey, I'll trade you or sell it. 2 days, it's gone. I mean, that's how well loved the double eagle is.
Yeah, cool. Trying to get this adjusted a little bit.
Yeah, Space Miner likes the green corroded copper even. He must love the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. All right, that's a bit better. Okay, so up next, let's do the Antigua Barbuda. This is a beautiful coin, in my opinion.
I almost bet on the platinum. I almost did. I need some more platinum.
Yeah, platinum. I like platinum. It's doing well right now. It would have been better to jump on it a month ago or so, but yeah, I think going to continue to do well.
Oh, I think platinum will get to probably 4,000, probably in time, back up to 4,000.
4,000, yeah.
It'll get as high as palladium ever got, and palladium got to what? What did it get to? 4,200? No, it got to 3,400. I think it'll get that higher. Probably go a little higher.
Really, is that all the higher palladium got to?
I think 3,400 an ounce. Yeah.
Okay.
And then it came down after that, and but yeah, it'll get to at least what palladium was. I think close to it. Osmium's doing pretty well.
Osmium's doing great. Yeah.
Is it over 2,100 a gram now, or is it still around? Is it still 2,100 a gram?
It's about 21 right now. Yeah. Copper more appealing to me than yellow gold. Maybe well. That's 3 people who like the copper look better than gold. I like gold myself, but I like copper too. But it's just not quite gold.
But copper is close to $5 a pound right now. So yeah. I think the highest it got, the highest it's ever been, it's like $5.20 a pound. So it's going to be a new record high here soon.
Platinum is?
No, copper.
Oh, copper. Okay.
Copper's good for you too. If you wear bracelets, it helps your joints. It really does. If you got inflammation or bursitis, all those different things, copper does really help.
Cool. What about, I've heard silver is supposed to be good for like wearing it as well. Copper and silver, right? I've even heard gold. So, but then I've heard some people are allergic. So I don't know.
Oh, it would be a very small percentage. Now, nickel, oh man, a bunch of people of the population is allergic to nickel. That's why they quit making jewelry with it, because a lot of people couldn't handle it.
Really?
And yeah. That's why you don't see nickel jewelry anymore. And I'm sure there's somebody allergic to everything. Like me, I'm allergic to yellow jackets, and the little suckers took my mower over the other day. I could not get near it. I said, "The little bums!" All the places I could have parked in the yard, I parked right over a yellow jacket nest, and I could have parked at 100 other places. And the little devils, they came in there. They swarmed it. They took it over. They were not happy. And I said, "Daggone it!" Every time I tried to get on it to get out of there, you should see how fast I finally did get on it and get it out of there. I couldn't even get the thing started at first. I said, "Oh Lord, I'm on here. These dudes are going to hear me trying to start it, and here they come." I thought that was going to get zipped good, but them crazy little creatures, I hate them. What's the good of them? I'm like, why did God create them?
Just for you, Nickel. Just for you.
Yeah, just to keep me straight, man.
Yeah, Bellows Forge. Yeah, I think yes. There's a few people that I've heard that from now, not just you, and I agree, and I think there will be more coming on that indeed.
Well, Go Maple. The only person I've seen red copper is a channel on here. He usually comes in here. Daggone it, I can't think of his channel right now. But when he pours it, it's red as red. I mean, it is. His rounds are red.
Oh, you're talking about Broke.
Yeah, Broke, the Brokester. Yeah, I mean, his is red, people. It is red, and that is the natural color. What he does it's natural colors when he does it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I think the one he sent me is really reddish in color.
Yeah, he's in fact, this right here, I better show this off since we're speaking of it.
But the nice thing about copper, the more you wear it, the brighter it gets. So you don't have to really clean it for jewelry. I've always liked my copper bracelets. I don't have any on right now, but I do like them.
You just got to clean your arm, right?
Yeah, your arm will leave it'll be like green. Yeah.
So here's Broke Stacker's first silver pour, and like Nickel is saying, he's really good. He started pouring copper, and he's really good at pouring copper. And but I wanted to see how he did with silver, so I sent him some silver shot and asked him to pour that same bee mold that he had with silver. And this was his first week. He did it on air, and it was a great stream, and he did a great job. So BS1, Broke Stacker number 1, 2024, 3/9's fine, and it was 3.66 ounces. So some cool numbers and a cool pour. So yeah, he's really good with copper, like you said. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna count this down. I love samarium because it's a metal that is useful when you go deep sea diving or repel sharks and piranhas. Are you joking about that there, Gold Maple, or is that for real?
What, he's not a fan of me?
No, not that. I'm sure that's for real, but
no, I think he meant nickel the metal. I think he meant nickel the metal.
Well, he's saying here samarium. I don't know what that is, but some type of amalgam or something of metal, I'm guessing, that repels sharks and piranhas in the sea. I don't know. Space Miner says Gold Maple ain't joking, so it must be a thing. That's cool. Okay, so we got no bid. Did I count that down for you guys yet or not? No, I have not. Oh, I should have put that up like that. Okay.
Oh, he's saying Osmium gives you cancer. I don't know. I've never heard that. Of course, I haven't heard much about osmium until now.
Osmium, the metal in its powder form, in its natural form, when mixed with oxygen, gives off a toxic gas that makes you go blind. If it's bad enough, and I suppose if you did it bad enough, it could kill you. But it's not quite as bad as I was originally thinking. And once you get it in its crystalline form, like we're working with, it is the most inert thing known to man. So that is not a worry once it gets into its crystalline form. It is like the most solid, dense, longest lasting structure known to man. Once it gets into that form, it's not going to be, you can't drop it in acids like you can the rest of the precious metals and have it be eaten away. Like, you have to heat it way higher than any other metal before it starts to break down. It'll be like the last thing standing. You don't need to worry about toxicity in any manner whatsoever once it's in its crystalline form. But before that, that's why some of the centered beads and bars and stuff that they make right now can have air pockets and can be toxic, and you shouldn't wear it on your skin and whatnot. And so yes, in its natural form, you kind of don't want to mess with it much. But go ahead.
Well, maybe that's what Putin's secret ingredient in his tea is. When he kills all those people he don't like, he must be putting osmium powder in there in the mix.
Might be. So yeah, Golden Maple says the powdered form. Yeah, that could be Gold Maple. That could be. So that's what's so cool about this. I mean, it's the most, they found it because it was the one thing that wouldn't break down, and then they're like, well, what is this? And that was how they came up with osmium, because it was the one metal that wouldn't break down in their acidic solution. And so, but for quite a while, it was just used in light filaments and a few other rare places, but kind of was quit use because of it. And record needles, which I'm going to get me some. But
Yeah, didn't they used to warn you like don't break the bulb, like don't break them when the old bulbs used to go run out, and that's probably why they're probably telling you don't do that.
maybe so, and they actually recycled them because of the value of the osmium in the filament. They would take their burnt out bulbs back to the factory and sell them back to the factory because the osmium was so valuable, even then before when it was in that form. So it is the most rare element known to man, and it's the most dense element known to man. And it's also the most noble, basically, meaning it does not tarnish or break down of everything. So it's like it ticks all those boxes that you want, and like the best out of the precious metals once you get it into that crystalline form. So, and once you get into that doing it in that crystalline form also gives it that whole extra measure above all the other ones that are just the most dense, the most noble, all those other things that I talk about. It also gets that snowflake crystalline structure grown into it as it's grown. And then that makes it way more unique than anything else. And like 10,000 more points, in a square centimeter. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's like the more you zoom in, the more you're gonna find, So it's very rare, and that's one of the things that makes it so amazing, and that it can't be just restolen and resold out from under you, and that can't be. You can't have someone like a cop pull up beside you or pull you over and just confiscate your stuff like they do with cash and even metals. With this, they can't confiscate it because they don't have access to the ownership of the code that goes with it. So JT Coin Rings, hello, welcome in, good to see you, my friend. Okay, so I counted that down, didn't I? Yes. So, yeah, and I just was dealing with the Osmium Institute Germany today and sent them over some stuff, and my hexagons are about ready. So I'm excited. That's taken a while, but it's about ready. And the next ones they told me should not take very long to be.
And what size will they range from?
They're mostly going to come in the 6 mil area, which was around $500. I wanted to kind of keep them in that area, but I should get a couple below that and probably a couple above it.
I think that's a little bit bigger. I think mine was a 4 millimeter. The last piece I bought, I think.
No, I think yours is either a 5 or 7.
7, yeah. Mine was a 7, yeah.
So yep, yours is. But I think yours is a 7, but a little bit lighter sparkle grade, whereas these are going to be a little bit heavier sparkle grade. So it'll be close to the same as what you got price wise, probably. But yeah, either way, it's all good. One, you just get like yours will be bigger around, so you get more surface area with the lower sparkle grade. So it's kind of nice. Like yours was 7, and so you're getting more surface area, whereas mine will be a little bit smaller, but a little bit thicker. So weight wise, it'll be about the same. Rockamos, good to see you.
And that would be about the same price because Osmium's gone up since I bought that. So.
Oh yeah, I bet you're way in the green by now. Okay, what should I put up next?
It's been a good investment. I mean,
yeah, and it's just getting started too. Yeah, you did good to get in early like that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would say it's good as Bitcoin in percentage going up. I would say it's every bit matching Bitcoin.
It has for the last couple of years because Bitcoin's been all up and down, not really going very far, right? Kind of like just retracing the steps.
Right. When it does go down, it's only like $5. I mean, it's not long.
Then it jumps up a bunch. Yeah, so it's a steady, like year over year, it's like over 15% or something average, just boof, 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 boof.
And right now, silver is outperforming gold.
Yes, which I again expect to see going forward. So I think all the things are lining up quite nicely. down those aisles, Nickel. So
Yeah, I'm in silver. I stayed in silver. I stayed the course.
yes, exactly.
And the people that panicked and said, "Well, I'm going to get out of silver and put all that into gold," I think they're making a mistake long term.
Yep. No. Yep. In my opinion as well. And not that I mean I if I was really rich, if I was like really rich, I can see myself just moving into gold and not messing with silver because like you're just worried about preserving your value, and gold is going to do fine with that.
Okay, but would you buy smaller fractional gold, or would you go for the bigger 1 ounce pieces? I mean, I would think still that if you had if you're going to put your money, like I think the smaller pieces would be better than putting it in the bigger pieces.
Sure, yeah, depending like on how rich you are, I suppose. Speaking of broke stacker, welcome in, broke. Good to see you.
We were talking about you.
Your copper melts and how nice they were. Oh, then it slipped my mind. Oh yeah, so if you're rich and you move into gold like that, I wouldn't see a problem with that, because to me I see gold as kind of like safety basically, and undervalued because of it seems crazy, but with the amount of cash being printed, it's just that our dollar is going to go to valueless eventually here. So that's going to continue on. So I wouldn't get on some rich guy say he did the wrong thing by going into gold. I think that's still a good idea. But if you're like me and you're not rich, and not only do you want to preserve what you have, but you also want a possibility of good upside, I'm willing to take that little bit more risk by moving into silver. And I think I'm going to definitely outperform gold at this point, but that's just my own personal opinion. And it's a bit more risky because it hasn't happened necessarily full out. I mean, it's starting to happen right now, but a lot of people would say, well, that's speculation and it hasn't done it yet and might not. And that's true. So there is more risk there, but that's how your risk reward, like that's a known thing in investing, right? Like, if you're willing to take that little bit more risk, then you have the possibility of that more reward if you know what you're doing. So this particular coin is the first bullion 1 ounce silver coin to be put out by Italy. And this is the first one put out. So this is their first bullion 1 ounce coin. And of course they know what they're doing. They know about the pollen and nectar and the bees and honey and preserving your wealth. So of course they represent with a flower. Good choice. And let me get my info up here.
There's the coins. If you look down on the image I put up, that's the coins I just won. I got all those for $184, which was a heck of a deal.
Okay, I have not seen it yet, but here we go. Well, you're always finding the good deals, though.
Yeah, I got them for like $17 a piece. So
that's something I wish that more people would, and I suppose some do, but when you're new, you don't know all the ins and outs, and that makes it hard for a newcomer to be able to do what you do, but you do it with ease because you have the knowledge and
where to look.
Where to look, make sure it is what it is, to know your ins and outs. You know all those variables and you're comfortable doing it, and that's a great way to go. But that takes a lot of you got on the ladder a long time ago, so you've moved up, whereas somebody new might struggle. I wouldn't necessarily recommend a brand new stacker for that to be where his first purchases were. I would say no, bite the bullet, spend that extra 50 cents or $1 and buy it from a big online reputable source like the Walmarts, of bullion. And then for sure that you're, what you're getting, and then get to know your metal. And then once you know kind of what you're doing, you can branch out. But that's kind of my take on that.
Look for older people, because they're at the phase of their life that they don't really need it anymore, really, and they're unloading it. So I think that's where you're going to get your deals.
Yeah, like your protege, or I don't know what you would say. I know that you helped with Chef Stacker, and he's doing great by following after your way of doing things, like going to those estate sales and whatnot. And isn't he in California too? Like that's the
L.A.
perfect
Yeah,
place to go do that.
he's in L.A. dodging all the riots and doing it.
No, yeah, that's a great way of doing it if you know what you're doing. So yeah. So again, that is the first 1 ounce silver coin from Italy, sold out from the mint right away. So
And like what Gold Maple's saying, that's what it is. When I started out, it was only silver all the time. And then I started doing gold, platinum, palladium, rhodium, osmium, copper, nickel, lead. I mean, I've branched out. I'm in almost every kind of metal you can think of now.
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. I think I'm going to be branching. So I'm kind of moving into the pure metals movement myself. I know I'm not saying at all that the other stuff doesn't have its great uses. Like 90% is probably a great time to get 90% if you like 90%, because the premiums are low and they are bound to overtake when silver starts to move. So I'm not at all saying it's not a good deal, but I'm doing the pure metals movement for some reasons. And I think I'm getting some there. I think Ian's going to be getting in some nickel, pure grade nickel, and he's also getting some 4.9s copper, and so I might start working in that a little bit myself.
Oh, okay. Now, would that be nickel bars? Is that what he's going to do?
Yes,
Okay, so he'll go 1 pounders or up to 5 pounds, or
I have not seen them yet. They have not been delivered, but I'm even thinking about trying to get up there and film it. So we'll see what happens. But
well, if it's close to spot, I don't think it will be. I think there'll be a huge premium on it. But if it was huge to spot, I'd be interested. But
well, I think it'll be better than just. I mean, that's why I think. I mean, I'm hopeful that it is a good deal. So we'll see. But
well, it's so low right now. It's still under $7 a pound. Nickel is, so it can't be too terrible for a
right,
bar. So
right. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. Gold Maple says he loves ancients, and I do as well. It's got the Acarnania Anactorium, if that's at all close to how you pronounce that, or known as the Pegasus 1 ounce coin. Let me play my little video here of it to show you both sides so I don't have to mess with it. I bet I can do this as well. And oh, come on now. What happened there? Don't quite like that. There we go. That'll work. Okay.
it looks like it's an AI underneath it.
It's like they're saying that's an A and an N for Anactorium or whatever, the town that it was minted in. So it's an A with an N in it, kind of like a, two letters connect. Often like brands are with, if you've ever been around cattle and brands, they'll often do that with their branding. They'll put a few letters kind of in one stamp or whatever. Supposedly that's what this is an AN. I just sold a coin that had the artist's signature in it, which was quite close to this, but it was AI and it wasn't connected down there. So, but yeah, very interesting indeed. And let's go ahead and count this Italian daisy coin down. And 3. What's I could do that. So a video tour of what? I missed it.
Does JT have options on the jewelry he makes, or what?
Options? You mean like different availability selection for purchase, or what do you mean?
Yeah. He makes something, then has options sometimes to sell it, or he just deals directly with people.
I know he deals directly, but I'm sure. I know he has a store with at least some options. I'm not sure the availability or the extension of it, but I know he has some and a store, so you can check out his store. And I know there's some, or was some up for sale last time I checked. I'm not sure again how many or whatnot, but yes, I got something I want to send over to him as well. He's very good at what he does. All right, we've been going an hour. Let's see. Don't know what I did with that at the moment. All right, well, I think we're going to bypass the Osmium sale for tonight because
What was it going to be? Can you tell?
it was going to be a triangle of I think it was a 3 mil triangle of a sparkle grade 3, and so it'd be like probably $60-$70 or something like that. You want me to look for it? I just can't find it because I had it at I'm half unpacked, so it's probably in my right over here. You want me to go look for it, or?
Well, do you have a picture of it? You could just put the picture up.
Yeah. Let me see here. Let me just check one.
Oh, broke. I got a green thumb now. Red copper and a green thumb. Space Miner leaving. Later, Space Miner. Remember, I'm going to be number 200. Is it number 200? Yeah, I think 200.
I just had it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I can't seem to find it at the moment.
But you can put it up. We can still. I think I remember from last time. You want to put it? You want to go ahead and run it? What was starting bid be?
If you're interested in it, I'll get with you after when I find it and get it to you. You know, if you know what it is, it'll be somewhere in the like $60 range or somewhere in there.
I know you showed. I know you showed it before. I can remember you did.
Yep,
So.
yep. It's that one. So I'll find it and get with you afterwards and show it to you, and we can deal it from there. Next, I'm hoping by my next auction, I should have my
Octagon.
So yep. So that should be fun and cool. And with that, let us go. Let's just run this ancient coin, and then we can just chat for a bit, because that's my mind is not in this particular auction tonight. But I did want to at least put some stuff up in case somebody wanted anything in particular.
I got the 750 for a day. I was 750 subs. Then I lost one. I'm back to 749 now.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it sucks when you lose them, because sometimes you'll go up like, 10 subs, and then the next morning you've lost 5 of those, and that's so depressing. I'd rather not make them in the first place than have them taken away. So frustrating. But anyway.
Yeah, I don't mind getting them. It's not the most important thing in my life. It's like I don't plan to get monetized anyway. So if I get to 1,000, it would just be a plateau to say, hey, I got to 1,000. Yeah. But it's not going to mean anything because I don't plan to get paid anyway. So.
Yeah, I get you. All right, this will probably be the cheapest you will ever see this coin coming from me, because this is going up next time around. I feel I put it out too low this time. So this is your chance here of getting this at probably the most reduced price ye shall see from this channel. So this is the Acarnania Anactorium, 320 to 380 BC. It's a silver stater of 8.57 grams, also known as a Pegasus stater. And I have it at $11.50. And if anyone would like to do payments, I can do a payment plan of 4 months, so 1 payment a month. And once I get the total, I will send it over. That ancient is probably from Athens. Well, I don't know. It could be. I know that it's actually from us. They actually know this coin is actually traced to a certain. Or I'm going to ask Aaron Burke about this next time, which I think I'll be having him back on in about a week. He's out of town right now, but I'll be hooking up with him when he gets back, hopefully. But here it says Pegasus, or I mean above that, BCD Arcanania 105, and I think that's like the actual finding, the site that it was found out. Like if I look that up, I need to look it up, but I believe that was an actual find. Usually I think that's what those mean. I believe I asked him once about that, and I think that's what that's going to mean, is that was the location in which it was actually found.
Yeah. Does he go on archaeological digs?
He doesn't, but well, I shouldn't say he does. He might have been on a few, but it's not like he's always doing it. But he knows quite a few people that do dig archaeology.
And he does buy some items from them.
On occasion, yeah.
Okay, and he does probably has someone does estate sales.
Yeah, and they get reviewed by so many people aside from himself. Like they get reviewed by the state itself that it gets found in. Like it has to be shown, and so they document and everything, and then they have people there that are experts in those things and know whether it's a legit coin or not as well. And then it goes through, generally gets shown around to the auction houses, they vet it, And then like if Aaron buys it, he knows what he's doing. So like it gets vetted by so many people, and then when he puts it back on his auction site, it gets vetted by the world again and all the famous numismatists. So
he's kind of like Indiana Jones.
Kind of.
Yeah. Or the dude that used to send Indiana Jones out. He did the digging.
That's right. That's more what it's like. Exactly.
But would you like to go on a dig and say Israel? That would be pretty cool.
It'd be amazing, right? Oh, I would anywhere. Yeah, anywhere over there. There's like so much history over there. It'd be. Iran itself is another just amazingly historical area, right? With tons of that type of stuff. So anywhere over there would be cool to do a dig.
So it's cooler in Israel because a lot of the stuff they find stuff actually mentioned in the Bible. So it's pretty cool.
Yes, for sure. Yep. Emerald, I'm glad to hear you got it. Good to hear. I'm glad you like it. And
nickel, yeah, the nickel's on. Yeah.
Yeah, when do you do your auctions, Emerald? I want to try to make one of your auctions as well. I've been so busy lately, and I was late tonight, and I'm all over the place. But I know you. When do you hold your auctions? Greece was divided into many city-states, the most prominent of which were Athens, Sparta, Thebes, and Corinth. Okay, indeed. Yep, indeed. Athens was the birthplace. Yes, the first. So that's what I find so interesting about it, Gold Maple. I mean, you're looking at coins and you're like, oh, that's awesome, and then you're looking at it's like from the first democracy or from the third democracy or and it's like, or the first republic or it's like, wow, it's so crazy to be realizing what you're dealing with and how it started and where it began and all that stuff. So interesting. So since when do I have riffraff on my shows?
If I wouldn't have looked at chat, I'd have told you. I would have probably told you who that was right there. I say, OC Stacker must be here. So yeah.
All right, it's Tiger Stacker. Welcome in. Good to see you, my friend. Hey, I might try. I need to give you a call here. Maybe I'll get with you tonight after I get off here if you're available. I need to talk with you. Not trying to avoid you, just been busy and okay, my auctions are okay. I was gonna say I hadn't seen them. Okay, interesting. Cool. Yeah, I wanna try to make one. I haven't made one yet. I've seen them, but I haven't been in yet. So I'll try to make one. Okay, so let me do one more look at this coin, and we will count it down.
Yep, if you go to Israel on a dig, you need to get you a leather hat, leather jacket, and a bullwhip. Are you just not prepared if you don't have all that?
Right. Oh, I forgot to load it. So yes, this is a Acarnania Anactorium 320 to 380 BC silver stater of 98 plus silver. These are pure coins at this time. 8.57 grams, a Pegasus stater. We've got a reduced price of probably the lowest you will see this coin go up for is the 1150. It's going to be going up next time around, so get on it if you're interested. I do take the ancient coins to a 4-month payment plan if that's something needed. Just let me know and we'll make that happen.
Oh yeah, the a 21 or 22 inch Toro? Yeah, they get a pretty good rating for the Pushmore. So yeah, they're pretty decent. I still think Honda has the best, but
Yeah, King Darius was a cool character, and Cyrus Cylinder. Yeah, I did a little short clip on that myself too. And then I was looking about the Shah of Iran, and when they were highlighting in my little video, it was highlighting the new Shah and that Cyrus Cylinder and all of that, and I was kind of going over it. And then now I found out some more about the Shah and when he was put in, and now I kind of wonder if all of that was a bit of maybe truth, but also propaganda along with it.
well, Stack That Gold, he has 4 gold coins with a shawl on
it. No, you don't know me or nothing, Tiger, but I do want to talk. What coin? Not sure. Okay, this coin, yeah. Yes, that's an ancient, Tiger. That's an original. So all those stories about Pegasus, the horse with wings. So this is an ancient coin, and so an original depiction of sorts, like probably the first depictions that I was looking for. Sounds like they were probably painted onto pottery, but like this one was carved into a stamp and minted. So this is an original carving of Pegasus. So yeah, I find it very cool and interesting. Play a little video of it one more time, and we will count it down.
Turkey would be probably a good place to look too.
So it's got AN below the horse there. That is for being minted in Anactorium, little city, right above. What is it? Right above Pella or Pale, I guess, and quite a ways above the island of Crete. But a very cool coin, and Athena on the flip side there. It's actually a very, very nice coin. I mean, it's got a little bit of wear on those high points from use, but it's actually pretty close to mint state, especially on that Athena side. It's and everything. I really like this one because it's proportionalized quite well. Some of these, when you see them, are like, the wings are way off, or the legs are way too thin or unproportional, or the neck's too long, or it doesn't look real at all. Whereas this one I thought had pretty good art all the way around and quite well centered all the way around as well. So it's actually a quite nice example of the Pegasus Stater. And I'm going to count it down. Turkey's another Roman ruins. Cappadocia. Yeah. And what's cool, I like the ancient coin I have with a bee on it. I think I used it for the thumbnail tonight. That comes from Ephesus, also known in the Bible as the book of Ephesians. And they talk in Ephesians, the silversmiths talk about making silver, different silver trinkets for the goddess Diana. And Diana was represented by the bee, which is what that coin is of. And in fact, they called the women that were doing like the temple services, they called them honeybee something, honeybee queens or something like that. It was interesting. Okay. So yeah, I find it just awesome to be able, because I read about that stuff all my life, and then to find things that correlate with it in real life, the real life imagery that I was imagining in my head, and you can see it right there. And then the speech that the coin itself gives off, what they're trying to say, is just, I don't know, it's so much fun, and I get so much more out of these ancient coins than I get out of any other coin. When I hold an ancient coin, and look at it and get to read it and see what it's saying. I feel like it's saying to me, and you imagine the time that it was set in, and I don't know. It's just fascinating. I love it. And the art is so beautiful. And then that's what, the more I look into these things and the more people talk about it, it's like, oh, well, it's Greek art. Like Greek art is known as like, it's like the best artistic history time ever, kind of, which is interesting. And watching it go from the archaic style to the more modern. Awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to wrap it up with that, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Maybe we'll just hang out and talk here for a bit, but that is going to wrap up the auction side of things for the night. So I appreciate it. And with that, let's chat. So yeah, that was kind of my thing with the whole patrioticness. It's like just so many people feel like they're being patriotic just by like rooting for their home team or whatever. Like just, go Bengals or go Cardinals or go, without having any actual understanding of what's going on or why would you be patriotic or for what reason. It's like, no, it's just my team, so I just root for them. And like that's craziness in my opinion. But do you notice that as well, Nickel? Or
Right, and then I do not like the American flag being burned or tread upon or thrown down, touching the ground. I don't like that. But for me, it's more for what the people before me came, not necessarily what's going on now. But I don't like when protesters do that.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying too. Is like that's my patriotism is often refers back to, like you're saying, those that came before me, or what we're the basis that we're supposed to be standing on, or the ideals that indeed do sound good to me, and that makes me patriotic. But just to go along with everything, or to root for your the home team, as it were, just because of what, like that seems to be a thing that's taken over. And I don't know if it has to do with sports or not, but it I guess you look at like what ancient Rome, right? And the same thing was like, if you watch the movie Gladiator, right? Like that's kind of the same thing you get. The people are just enjoying the entertainment without really thinking through what's going on, right?
You mean when they set the lines on Christians?
Well, yeah, and gladiators against men of Christian, or what, it was more than just Christians, but that was a big one. So whatever dissident Christians and whatever else would just and they would put them up against gladiators for the fun of it, or tigers, and I don't know. I'm sure it was entertaining, right? No doubt.
Probably pretty gross too.
But that's it. Like, oof. I don't know that. I have too much of a. I think through those things too deeply, or something, where it hits a nerve with me. Yeah, the flag burnings are not good, and then you see a lot of the, like with the rioters, they'll be looting with their flags, and I'm like, whether that's they're doing, if someone's doing that as a psyop, but generally it's generally not when you look at, unless they were planted. But it's like, that's not, you're not creating a good picture of yourself there,
Well, I saw a lot of Mexican flags during the protests.
Yeah, and during the looting, and that's what I'm saying. Like they carry them for the protest, but then you see them running and looting stuff with those flags. I'm like, man, you're not really thinking that one through very well. But yeah, anyway, I kind of don't like the, I don't even like it with sports is the thing. Like I notice that in sports, itself. Like, you know, doesn't matter what the sports teams are doing or standing for, or like that. A lot of them they weren't singing the national anthem or you know, like all that stuff. And it's like, well, it doesn't matter, just whatever, you know, it's my team, so I swear. It's like, that's some weird tribal philosophy, and I know that's kind of a thing in people, but that's not how I want to determine right from wrong. Is like, oh, I was born on this piece of land, therefore I just, no matter what that piece of land does, is perfect. You know, that's not a thing. And or someone was born on a different piece of land, therefore they're evil, no matter, you know, like, that's not a thing.
Yeah, we should respect each other's sovereignty.
And you should respect each individual person as an individual person, because just because they were born on such and such piece of land doesn't mean that they agree with everything that, you know, that landmass is doing. Right? I mean, at least that's the way I see it anyway. I never ate a gladiator, but I'm willing to try. Nice, Tiger. Yeah, how does it go with... Yeah, Tiger, when I get off here, I want to, or you want to hop up here with us, Tiger? I'll drop in the invite here. You can come up and chat with us, and then I want to talk with you in private too.
I'd like to see if he still got his tiger gloves. That drives him nuts when I say that.
Maple says, we are like ancient Romans, don't you think so? I mean, think of the people going to rodeos and cheering to see the people chased by bulls, cheering as wrestlers beat each other. Yeah. I mean, it's so much the same, and we seem to just, like, you know, you get your football thing, you just cheer for it no matter what, and like, you know, we should be of a bigger mind, in my opinion, than this. Like, you know, it's really, really childish and immature just to treat things cut and dry like that. That's weird to me. So yeah, I agree, Mabel. Yeah, good to see you, Hambone. Thanks for hanging. Anybody wants to jump up on that StreamYard link I just put in, feel free. And Tiger, I put that in there for you. If you don't want to jump up, that's fine as well. I'll talk to you later on the phone as well. But oh, here's your coins. I see your... Okay, cool. That's what you were talking about?
Yeah, they're proofs.
Okay.
Yeah, I got those for like $17 a piece. They're 925 silver. Now that one, I got my arrow. You can't see my arrow, I don't think. The one that say, not the top, not the three, the next one, first one to the left. That one's, I think, is 999. Forget who that is.
Okay.
But the bottom one with the eagle, that's an Olympic commemorative. Oh,
speaking of which, yeah, so I'm going to go through all my stuff and separate. I'm going to get rid of some of it. Like, I have some 90% that I'm putting in deep stack, putting away, but everything else that is going to appear on my table is going to be pure metals, because I'm doing the pure metals movement thing now. But I do happen to have one of these I just grabbed. Does anybody want this 925 cheetah? This is not pure silver. This is sterling silver, but it is a PCGS proof 70 deep cam South Africa cheetah.
How much you want for that?
Let's go look, see what we got.
PCGS too, so that's your best grader.
It's your best grade. The best is a deep proof deep cameo proof 70. So yeah, that's like way up there on the grading scale. And we have 2016 2 rand. Yeah, here we go. We got it for 75, 66, and 5. So 70. It looks like people are around 65.70, and I'll do it at 65. Anybody wants that at 65? It is sterling silver. It is not pure silver, but it is a proof 70 deep cam. It is a coin. It's from South Africa. It's got a cool cheetah. It's a nice coin. It's just not pure silver. That's why I'm moving it. So $65 if anybody wants that. Oh, let me put it up. We are. So yeah, one more coin I'm putting up, even though the auction's over. If anybody wants it, that is a 2016 PCGS Proof 70 Deep Cams South Africa Cheetah. Tiger, you might be interested in this, and send it to my emails before I want it. Okay, I'll do that. Composed to Tigger. T-I-double-G-R.
Oh, my coins with your presidents? Well, I know Jefferson's one of them.
Sent, Tiger. Should be headed your way, Tiger. It's your Gmail. Some U.S. commemoratives. 1896 Pre-Columbian Exposition, $50. 1993 Jefferson, 94 Bill of Rights. Eisenhower. Institution. What? Institution. 1991 Mount Rushmore. Oh, that'd be a cool one. I grew up right close to Mount Rushmore. And the Devil's Tower. Drive by that every once in a while. You ever been to the Devil's Tower there, Nickel?
No, I've never been to Israel either. I maybe before I die, I'll get a chance to go to Israel.
Whoa. Actually, it was saying that didn't deliver, so hold on, Tiger.
Better not to go right now, I believe.
Yeah, no doubt, right?
I don't think we even can go right now.
I wouldn't go right now if you paid me.
I would have no interest in going to Iran, Iraq, or any of those. Not interested, you know.
I would like to go to Iran and see some. They have some, like, you're talking ancient coins and historicals. They have some amazing sites still standing. In fact, that was kind of it with ISIS, right? They were going around breaking up all those old sites, and I'm kind of like, no.
You know, in Iran, if you want to fill your car up with gas, it's only the equivalent of $1 US.
Oh, yeah.
Can you believe that?
I can believe it, yeah. I resent it. Try it now, Tiger. It should be there. I think this one hopefully worked. Ah, there we go. Tiger, welcome in. How you doing, bud?
No, there's that toilet again. Remember that? He did that on Yankee, and I thought, sure, man. I thought somebody was messing with Yankee. I said, oh, my Lord, somebody flushed the toilet. I said, get him out of there. I said, get him off, you know, because I thought, sure, somebody was messing with Yankee on that.
The problem is we got to get nickel new batteries for his hearing aids.
Yeah, Gold Maple. That's funny. So I've been to Devil's Tower, but I've also been to the South Rim. That's where I got married. I got married on the South Rim of the Grand Canyon. So yeah, I've been there as well. Cool. Beautiful place. Rockamos, Welchco Services. What the bacon? All right, well, I'm gonna remove the 925 non-pure metal. If nobody wants this, I'm gonna.
What is that?
I'm moving to a. Let me show you here.
He's going pure silver, pure gold, and pure silver.
Movement. Yep, I'm doing the pure metals movement. So I have hold your hossies. So I have 98% plus pure for the ancient coins, up to 595 plus pure in the crystalline osmium. So I'm doing pure bullion only. It needs to be 98% or higher for me to sell it. So as I'm transitioning to that, I have right now a piece that is not pure silver. It is 925 or sterling, and it is from South Africa. It's 2016 minted, and PCGS graded it at proof 70 decam, which is deep cameo.
Mm-hmm.
South Africa cheetah. So it's a cheetah. It's kind of down your aisle.
I'm trying my very best to stay out of those. I'm really working hard to get back to original stacking.
Yeah.
When I had the sepsis both times, and I had to dip into my silver to pay the bills.
Yeah.
I worked. My go-to was the bars, especially the 10 ounce, and after that, I started giving up the premium stuff, and I took a hit, but I didn't want to give up my regular bullion, simply because if we hit SHDF, that's going to be more recognizable. So I took the hit.
Yes.
It's very hard not to get into the collectibles as much.
Yep.
It's a little hard because there's certain things I want to finish, like my presidential series.
Yeah.
I have 5 of them that I've yet to get. In fact, let me spin myself around here. I need to get George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton, Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, and Barack Obama.
I almost want a Richard Nixon.
Well, I got a couple of those.
Silver Boy Blues, I was giving it away for $65, which is pretty low. It's a sterling silver 1 ounce, and it's graded by PCGS, proof 70 deep cam. So it's it's a great grade. It's top of the line as far as that goes, but it's not pure silver, and I'm moving into the pure metals movement.
What was the mintage on them? 500?
Good question. Let me see if it says here on any of these.
I'm betting 500, maybe 200. It'd be between 200 and 500, I would bet.
Let me see if one of these places will give me a good.
I have a couple sterlings of inaugurals of different presidents, but I'm really trying to stick with something that, if I have to get out, it's not going to be as hard. But there's the stacker and the collector and me love to argue with each other.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing. Let me check one other place. This might tell me.
I heard something. It was somebody had it on. I don't think I watched it, but I saw that it was there. I just didn't click it. Something about the go backs, that they're going to stop making certain ones.
No, that's not really true. That was kind of clickbaity. Silver Dragon said that on his channel as kind of like clickbait, for lack of a better way of saying it. the original three, which was Utah, Utah, New Hampshire, and what was the one before New Hampshire? Nevada. They are going to stop their current line of what they're making.
And they're going to redesign it.
They're going to redesign it and try to bring themselves up to the same standard that Florida is, because evidently the designs are hotter. The security feature on the back with the blue light, and I do like the gold backs. Not I don't see myself as collecting or stacking them. To me, they're it's like, for lack of a better way of saying it, it's like the Mercury dime. If we hit SHTF and you run into a dealer, it's like, no, I'm not going to trade with you on silver. You're going to trade me your gold. I'm like, for a small price item, okay, fine. We'll go to the gold backs. That's my strategy for gold backs, is to use it as a means of exchange for small things with merchants that will not deal in silver.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. I want to address Silver White Blues. Okay, I will. I'll get that on the next one. I have sent you. You should have one already in your email, Silver Boy, for the previous one, but I will add this one to the next one, which will probably be going out here in a while. So yeah, and yeah, that should take care of that. And of course, you're always feel free to reach out anytime with any questions.
I like the concept of go backs, and I think if you got in when they first came out, I think you're doing real well, because they were not very expensive when they started out, and now they're a little bit more expensive.
Well, they were a little over $2 per one gold back. Now there's $6.78 per one gold back. So, in fact, I'm about ready to release a video on what I consider are the 5 best fractional golds to have. And I'm not going to tell you if Goldback is in there or not, or what the 5 are. You're going to have to go see it.
Well, I saw the 5 best ones. I did those in my community. And I think we were completely opposite on one. You had one way up there, and I had it way down there, and it was interesting.
Yeah, everyone has their own idea of what's going to really happen in the real world. I'm pretty decent with guesstimating what people are going to do and say and all that type of stuff in the real world, in my profession, and a lot of other things. So I'm willing to stick by my guns, because I honestly, I have all the faith in the world in the greed of the human being. And subsequently, as long as I stick to that mentality, I'm pretty good at guessing what people are going to do. It's like, it's like whenever I buy something from Long Live Coins, he typically, for when he's about ready to pay, have me buy for it, he doubles the price.
Yeah, I figured that was coming. Yeah,
I still never forgot the day that you put a bid just underneath my top insurance just to watch me suffer.
Yeah, that was a fun one. That was indeed a fun day. I was rolling on the floor laughing so hard.
I was actually thinking about you pretty recently, because, believe it or not, T the Silver Stacker went back onto YouTube for one time to see what would happen with an auction. It didn't go so well, because he's been on Whatnot for like ever.
Yeah.
I'm sure people got out of coming to his channel for an auction.
So he's still doing them, but he's doing it on the other.
He does it almost exclusively on Whatnot. I'm sure the fact that certain people, myself included, don't want to go to Whatnot. I really don't want to go to Whatnot. My feeling about Whatnot is that I think whenever I was bidding on stuff and I'd do insurance, I was actually bidding against myself.
Now, Yeah, but he hadn't done regular videos on YouTube much either, did he? He used to do. He used to go to a. He had people he went to buy a local shop.
Yeah, he still does that. He still
Okay.
does that. He still does his videos on YouTube. He goes to a lot of different coin shop dealers, and to be honest with you, they're all fine. But there's only one that I really enjoy him going to, and that's Sherry. So she's little potty mouth, sassy little girl, and I really enjoy that person. In fact, I bought a lot of silver presidential rounds from her. Did a video on that. I'm still looking for the other 5, like I mentioned, but I enjoy Sherry. In fact, when I call up on, I'll watch T's channel. He'll show what she has in her display case, and if I see something I want, I'll call her up and send her a check, and then she'll send it to me. You know, unlike someone else who I paid something for and he hasn't sent me anything. I don't know. You know, this guy named Long Live Coins. Yeah.
I'm so glad I sent you a link, Tiger.
Well, I have to admit, dude, you're a good-looking boy, and that's one of the reasons I'm going to keep to my stripes, because I don't have a chance in hell people saying I'm a good-looking boy.
Oh, man. Hilarious. Good to see you, 79. Thanks for stopping by. Golf veteran. Oh, welcome in. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. The auction is over, but we're just hanging out and chatting. So good to have you.
I was going to bid on the Osmium triangle.
Yeah. When I can find that, I had it over at the Osmium Symposium, and I haven't unpacked it yet. So,
well, whichever one gets the matching piece for my wife's earrings, you or Ian, I don't care.
What's the match? What did you get?
I'll probably have to go find where she put it and
just text me or send me a picture or something of it later, and I will definitely make that happen for you.
It's probably where she took his what was it, a gold coin with a gold coin with a dog on it.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
that's wherever that is, you'll find the Osmium, I'm sure.
Well, there's the funny thing is that we came up on an anniversary 1 or 2 years ago, and I didn't have time with the job to go shopping for her, so I got into my little stash and gave her my half-ounce gold coin. She had big tears in her eyes. Are you sure? I said, yeah. Why not? You love dogs, and this is a good way for me to show you how much I appreciate you. Then I got back onto, what was it, AppMax, JM Bullion. I put in a request to notify me when they get the half-ounce dog again, which they didn't. They had quarter ounces, which with the premium was way too much, and that's nice. And then but there was the 1 ounce, so I sucked it up and bought the 1 ounce and had it for a little over a year. And she saw it and she went for it, and I recorded that on the video, and then I kind of stole it back from her so I could do the next video, and she caught me doing it.
I think he found the limit, the number on that other coin.
Yes, the mintage is 7,700.
Oh.
Population 2,519. That must mean the ones that got graded or something. But yeah, it says on the back of this. So this is coming to you, Silverboy Blues. This is the card that I got with it when I got it. It's the 2016 South African cheetah. It says, we know these predators at heart belong in the wild, but goodness gracious, the cheetah looks awesome on a coin too. As the fastest land animal, it can reach speeds of up to 70 miles per hour. Can you catch one of those, Tiger?
No, that's okay. I'll catch the cheetah later and eat him.
Well, you catch them after they've gone 70 plus miles an hour. They ain't gonna be able to do it very long.
You
And then
better.
they're going to have to rest for a while. So they'll be pretty easy to sneak up on.
Yeah, let them eat their prey. That way they're slowed down because they got a full stomach.
There you go. You know what you're doing. Right on.
Yeah, and I noticed you guys mentioned my cousin Tigger. That little jerk. I asked him thousands of times to teach me how to bounce on the tail. He told me he's not allowed to. He says it's property of Walt Disney, and he's not allowed to teach me.
I better say hi to 79. She said she was making bets I wouldn't do it. So anything to make her lose a bet. So I will say hi.
It's nice to know that you're an equal opportunity offender.
Yeah.
He's definitely an equal opportunity offender, that's for sure. So we got Emerald Coast saying he would like to hear your take on Clark on her treatment on the court. I'm guessing that's for you, Nickel.
Well, I've got a really good answer for that, but you learn not to say certain things. So I'll just give the abbreviated version. It's just that she doesn't fit in with what the league stands for, so therefore she doesn't get the benefit of the call. And I think they tell the officials to look the other way because she practically gets mugged, knocked down, beat up, and they will not call the foul. I mean, they are grabbing her, holding her, bumping into her, and she never goes to the line for free throws. They just won't do it. They won't call the fouls out there on the perimeter. So that's just the way it is. She doesn't fit into what they're wanting, their image. And she's the moneymaker. She's responsible for 1/3 of the revenue for that league. And so I don't understand it, but that's the way it seems to be.
So, and then Silverboy Blues. Yes, I agree with you. Whatnot is too fast for me as well. I just can't get into it myself. Each their own. And I definitely miss those the Silver Stacker auctions as well. I've got a whole bunch of these koozies, and then I also have a white one that has his little Muttley on there.
He put up a 1/10 platinum Kookaburra and did not sell at auction. So what'd you ask for that? 175, right?
Start 175. It's the 5th 10th ounce platinum Kookaburra. And that line of 10th ounce platinum Australian Kookaburras only started in 2020. So I have collected all 5 of them, and they just released the 5th one right here. And this is the one I'm keeping. I put the other one up for sale, but
who's the Kookaburra crazy that loves them? Silver Journey.
Yes,
he loves the Kookaburra. He probably would be interested in that, even though it's platinum. I don't know if he goes for platinum, but because it's a Kookaburra, he might be interested.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that he does. That's the thing, is I don't know that he does platinum either there, Nickel. But yes. Yeah, I learned that as a kid as well, Silverboy Blues. Say it like you mean it, 79 says.
No, for me to saying hello to her, I don't know how else to say it.
No, I did not. But I'm about out. Let me see if I have one. I'm out of 10 ounce silver bars, Tiger. The only 10 ounce I have is I can do 10 1 ounce. Oh, you can't see him right there. There, let me.
Are you sure you're out of 10 ounces? You haven't shipped me mine. You still have them there.
Freaking, I got a pile of them here. I'm afraid it's going to bottom my box out when I send it.
Sell him the same one twice.
Yeah,
you can sell it to me twice. Just make sure you build nickel twice as much.
Yeah. Check Stacker, welcome in. Good to see you. And let's see here. Silver Crown and Tiki series honoring.
There's some truth there, Silverboy Blues. I just enjoyed auctions. Sometimes I didn't even want the damn thing. I just wanted to see how good I was at sniping. And then Long decided he was going to go for things. I was like, oh, good competition. And, and that competitiveness then became a friendship.
Yeah,
I actually like him now. Don't tell him I said that.
yeah. Well, the kickoff point had me rolling on the floor laughing. I was laughing so hard at what had just happened. But by the next day, I started feeling remorseful, and I reached out to him, and then we became friends through it all. So it was funny. Matt Winge, welcome in. Good to see you. I don't think I've seen you in here, but I appreciate you being here. We just wrapped up the auction, and we're just hanging out and chatting for the moment.
Yeah, he made sure he put his stuff away as soon as he invited me up the panel.
That's right. It takes one swipe for old Tiger Paw.
Oh, crap. Oh, I got home yesterday. Got home late because the typical airplanes were always delay. And it was just not fun because I have things I have to get done. I've been away for a couple weeks. When you know, all the darn recruiters are calling me, will this. So I'm like, no, I don't want to. I'm home. I got things I got to accomplish. But we really need you to do this. And I'm like, I want to spend time with my wife and I got to get some things done. Well, this. Well, how about this? Take me off the schedule. What? Take me off the schedule. Because I'm not going to give up my time with the wife, nor trying to not do what I have to do while I'm here for just less than a week. So just take me off the schedule. If that's the way you want to play it, so be it. All of a sudden, it's like, we'll work with you. Like,
Truth Seeker, good to see you. What's going on, bud?
It's just amazing how many people are out there. They only care about themselves. You know, I got called from a different recruiter about a different job location, and I said, I am busy today. I'm busier tomorrow. So they told the hospital, and they called me while I was in the middle of doing something. I was like, I'm in the middle of doing stuff. I can't really have an interview impromptu, and I'm busier tomorrow. We can try Friday. So they called the recruiter back and says, we don't want him. The interview didn't go well. Like, that's the way you play. Imagine what you'd be there if I was your employee.
Right.
You can't respect the guy enough to actually let him do what he's got to do for his home, and then you're going to play it that way. Imagine what they're going to be like when you actually work for them.
Yeah, no doubt.
So
yeah, the Truth Seeker. That's I just talked to somebody today about that, and they should be here in a few days. So I should have them here by next auction. So I'm excited about it.
And the starting bid on those, you think will be 500?
That is just a rough area there. I mean, there's going to be variation there, but yeah,
and Osmium could go up.
Exactly. So, but that's where I was kind of aiming, is right in that zone. So should be good. $43 of the 50 U.S. states. Wow, nice, Maple. That's more. I live here, and I haven't made that many. I've been to quite a few of them, but I have not been to West Virginia either. So there's one I haven't been to. But
yeah, you come to West Virginia, we're going to have to hit the pawn shop. I got the best pawn shop dealer. She kicks butt. All the pawn shops, they don't have the buy or sell prices that she does. I can't believe that when everybody else talks smack on pawn shops, that doesn't apply to the one I go to.
Yeah, no, that's cool that you got a good relationship there.
Yeah, in fact, I released a video last Friday about the interaction I had at the pawn shop, and wow, that one took off.
I saw that video did real well.
Yeah,
So,
last I looked, it's approaching 4.6 thousand. It's like,
Ooh, nice, good job.
yeah. Like, and I was just howling hysterically because you got some people were like happy about what we were talking about, and the other group was just mad as a hornet. And I'm like, I just sat there and just giggled and giggled, and it didn't matter what they said. I just laughed. My ribs hurt. It was a great time. You know, Chevelle is texting me, "Am I number one yet? Am I number one yet?" And I was like, "Actually, you are."
No, that's cool. Yeah. No, I was glad to see him breaking that plastic out, man. It's like that stuff. That's I'm not big on all the plastic stuff going on.
Well, a lot of people are all bent. No, don't break it out. That's
Yeah,
for
but
posterity. I'm like,
it's because people have no idea how many billions of coin shops have just crates full of those things at half price, just begging people to take them off their hands because.
Nick's Coins likes to break them.
Oh yeah. In fact, I texted Nick and said, "Hey, you might want to check out my newest video." And she probably off doing whatever Nick does. Love Nick to death, but Nick does Nick.
Yeah. Gold Maple, I think you need to be down here in the States. You're like sound like you're a statesman yourself, being up in the northern country. Of course, I guess you're the 51st state now from what
Yeah. Don't worry, you'll be in America one way or the other.
I'm joking, of course.
Oh my goodness. Do you think that's actually going to happen?
No. I think it's more likely that there's some states in the union would like to break away and join Canada. I think that's more likely than anything breaking from them and coming to us.
No, that might be true too, but I'm not really convinced that Canada has the economy to support themselves, let alone anyone else coming to them.
Yeah.
Saying.
Yeah. Czech's worried about. He says breaking those out of the plastic is scary, but almost as much as Tiger melting the Inglehards.
Hey, that was fun.
Yeah, that's true, Elko. Israel, I think, is the 51st state. I agree with you. At least we're acting like they're the 51st state.
Canada, eh?
That's a scream. That's kind of funny because the job that called me inappropriately when I said I was going to be busy is up in northern North Dakota, and they talk like Canadians up there. I was like, I just kept thinking, it'd be kind of nice to go there. But then I thought, if you don't have the respect to at least, let me have the freedom when I tell you in advance, then there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, I agree with that, Golden Maple. Indeed. And I agree with you, Welchco, for sure.
Yeah, I wasn't really impressed by Justin Trudeau either. I don't think many people were.
No.
What a jerk.
Yeah, this new guy seems to be doing it better. I don't know. He hadn't been in long enough for me to make a judgment on him yet, but he seems to be more statesman-like.
I don't know. I haven't paid attention to him. Haven't paid attention to that one in particular. Oh, okay. So you're 91 immigrated, huh? So you were in the States originally then. It's none of my business, obviously. But yeah.
But yet he asked.
But yet I asked, didn't I? Thanks, Tiger.
Come anytime.
So North Dakota, well, that wouldn't be a bad place for you, Tiger. Is that so? That's not a thing now, though.
Probably not. The recruiter called me up and says, "What did you say to him?" I said, "What did I say?" I said, "I didn't expect them to even call me. I had things going on, and I told him, I said, I'm kind of busy at the moment. I'm going to be busier tomorrow." And I said, I evidently my recruiter in the same company doesn't manage that account. It was one of her partners, and I'm kind of thinking the partner didn't listen, and the partner ended up telling the people, "Yeah, give him a call." Like, okay, in my world, it doesn't take much for a hospital to say no to someone. You look cross-eyed and they'll tell you no. It's like dealing with a bunch of damn teenage little girls back when you were in high school and you wanted to date a cheerleader and they're so damn fickle. That's the way the hospital administrators are, although they don't look as good in the skirt.
Yeah, I can imagine the fickle cheerleader idea. I suppose that could be a universal concept. I see where you're coming from there.
Yeah, sorry, but my feeling. In fact, there was not. I'm the mindset. I'm getting older, and I'm tired of people trying to turn me into a yes man all the time. I want some free time on my own. I have to pay my bills. I have to be free to pay my bills. I can't be work, 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 fall asleep, work, 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 fall asleep, and be a trained monkey. I'm just, I want to get things accomplished. And I have more things in this world to accomplish than to pleasing these bunch of jerks. And, you know, I like taking care of people. I just don't like the politics in medicine. So,
Yeah.
I want, when I tell them I want home time, I haven't had home time, and they don't want to listen, that pretty much tells you the caliber of a person you're dealing with.
Yeah.
You know, the, the original plan was 5 hour, 8 hours for work, 8 hours for family, 8 hours for sleep. Now they just want to turn us into a bunch of busy little beavers, that the trained little monkeys that they want to turn us into, so that they can have what they want, and the hellfire be damned with what we want.
So it's monkeys or tigers there, huh?
Yeah.
Oh
And
my!
I keep forgetting what species I am.
Nick will think that sounds scary.
Yeah. It's
All right, so here's all 5 of the platinum 10th ounce coins here. Let's see which. I believe this is 2020 here.
nice going, Silver Boy Blues. I tried getting a little beaver, but the wife told me I'm not allowed to have any.
All right, let's keep it clean here now.
I did keep it clean. I did keep it clean. That's pretty
I'm
good. Good for
joking.
me.
I know. So this is the 2020. And then I'm kind of guessing on these, but I think if I remember right. Oh, man. I might have to get my... I think this is 2021. No, this is later, isn't it? That was a later one. I'm going to have to get my... It might have been this one. This might have been 2021. I kind of like this one sitting on the ledge. And then I think we went to this one. No, then we went to this one. This was number 3, I think. carrying a snake.
Yeah, they're actually a pretty good sized bird.
They're like bigger than like a blackbird, a little bigger than a smaller than a crow, aren't they?
I think it's big. It's bigger than a crow.
Oh, come on now.
They're big. They're bigger than you think.
I bet I'd take the crow bet on that one. But anyway, yeah, this is number 4. And this was just the fresh one just released. It's kind of cool, like that sun shine in there is kind of cool how they just made that flat. And the rays coming off of it. It's kind of cool. And this is the 35th anniversary, evidently, of the kookaburra altogether, because they've only done 5 of the platinum 10th ounce. But I think it might be the 35th anniversary of the kookaburra collection or something. I don't know. So those are all 5 of the kookaburra platinum 10th ounce pieces. What did I miss in chat here? Oh, cool. From Minot Coin and Bullion. Oh, that's you must be up there close to North Dakota where we were just talking about Tiger getting a job at, even though he's from West Virginia.
Believe it or not, in my industry, not very many ER doctors work close to where they live.
Matt Winge, or is it Wingate? Because I actually have some. Some Wingate wood products right here. I got a coin pinger made out of Wingate. So I don't know if I pronounced your name correctly or incorrectly, but I have a little bit of Wingate right there. In fact, the coin easel right there holding my ancient coin is Wingate as well. But anyway, was I right about that? Is that North Dakota? Is that where Minot Coin and Bullion is? Am I about right there? Okay. Nova Scotia, which is predominantly white.
Okay, here it is. A kookaburra. They can get up to 18 inches, a weight of 465 grams, which would be 16.4 ounces. So I think that's a pretty good sized bird, 18 inches.
That's pretty good, but see what a crow does. Are we talking crows or ravens? Because I almost guarantee a raven is bigger, but I would say a crow is even bigger as well.
I thought a raven and a crow were pretty much the same thing.
No, they're different. Ravens are bigger than crows. They're close, but they're different. They have a different call altogether, too. They sound different.
Okay, they can get... Oh, that's your wingspan. Crows can get to up to 21 ounces in weight. And they're up to 20 inches in height. So that would be about the same. A kookaburra and a crow would be very close. But a kookaburra will weigh more. So that means they eat more, which means they get fat. And they probably have no predators, as much predators or something. So they probably live longer.
Oh, cool, Matt. I'm originally from Montana, so I've been to North Dakota a few times. That's cool.
Yeah, he's right. The raven is a bigger bird.
Oh yeah, I used to have a pet crow as a kid, so I know the difference in them.
Yeah, you can teach them to speak.
Yeah, ours never spoke, but man, was it a smart bird and a great pet. Like, it was really personable and whatnot. But it would steal anything shiny. My granddad used to hate it because he'd drive his pickup over to our ranch and he'd always have the windows down and he'd always have like nuts and bolts and shiny stuff on the dash from fixing, all kinds of stuff. And the crow would always fly in there and grab like the one expensive part that he just bought or something and go hide it in his nest. One day we found his stash and it was full of like a bunch of our parts that we were missing.
Length for a crow, 17 to 21 inches. For a raven, 22 to 27 inches.
There you go.
20 ounce, up to 20 ounce for a crow, and 3.5 pounds for a raven.
Wow. So what's the weight of a crow as to the weight of a kook?
Oh, it was 20 ounces for a crow, and I think it was, I can't remember what it was. I thought it
was 18 for a kook, so that makes
it's heavier than the crow, I think.
Somebody look that up for me, because I'm surprised if that's the case, and I'm surprised that Nickel is right over me too. So those are two things that would be
basically shocked that Nickel's right about anything. Oh, who said that?
Oh man. I was right about them tiger gloves. I'll tell you that. I gotta get that. I'm still trying to get a pair of them.
I swear to God, Nickel, I'm going to go talk to your mother about you spreading rumors.
So I got a half ounce of platinum right there. Number 5, half ounce. Anyway, I got a little bit more than that. I got a 1/4 ounce American Eagle and a couple other pieces. So that's about what I'm at. About an ounce. And I got like a gram of palladium. I should probably get some palladium. Well, how low do you think palladium's going to go before it turns around, Nickel?
I think it's going to pretty much stay where it's at and then eventually start to come back up. I don't think it's going to get much lower.
Yeah. I would say like maybe 900s or something and probably turn around like low, not like 900, high 8s, low 9s.
I can remember when the highest it ever got was 500 an ounce or 600. I think I had 1 ounce of it and I sold it at, I think it got to 600 and I sold it. I said, man, it's probably not going to go no higher than this. And now you look at what happened to it. It's unbelievable. So
yeah.
I never dreamed it would get as high as it did, 3,400. I just can't believe it.
Yeah, Matt, if you go talk to Josh, tell him hi from the Long Live Coins channel and Silver Boy Blues and everybody here. We probably all watch him.
The big first hit for I'm trying to think of the group now. I can't think of it. Alan Parsons Project. One of their first big hits was the Raven. If you've never seen the video, it's pretty cool. It's a tribute to Edgar Allan Poe. So,
why Edgar Allan Poe? What would that have to do with anything?
Because he had a story about the Raven, Nevermore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I had to read that in school.
OC, no, not all 5 of them, but I have the 5th one that I put up earlier. So I have one extra of this, the latest. This is the latest 10th ounce drop here. I kind of like it. It's got that sunshine down at the bottom. It's like
you need to make yourself bigger,
flat and reflective. Let me zoom in a bit. I'll actually make it look somewhat decent here. Kind of got a reverse proof going, or at least the wing is kind of a shiny proof like, and then the bird, most of the bird is kind of flat, I guess what do you call that? Burnished, I think.
Might be.
The rest is kind of burnished, and then the sun again is kind of not really polished, but flat. It's not as polished as that wing, but it is kind of flat flatter than the rest of the coin. So that's kind of cool. So I do have that available. I think I put it up for 175. That is an egg, LOL.
How much of a weight is that?
10th ounce.
A 10th ounce at $175?
Yeah, platinum's on the move, man.
Oh, that's platinum. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep. I think it's gonna keep going the direction it's going. So
I am looking for a bigger piece of palladium. Not that I really want to start stacking palladium. I just want something to put in my Sigma Metalytics to prove that it will do it.
yeah, I have one piece of palladium is all, only 1 gram, but I wouldn't mind getting a little bit more. That's what we were just talking about. What we thought palladium would bottom out at, and I said low 9s, high 8s, and I think nickel agreed.
What'd you say, Nickel? Buy your palladium for me? Is that what you said?
Yeah, you know, the palladium, I think the only palladium I have right now is the class rings. So I can remember when palladium class rings, when I graduated, I could have got one, and it was a lot cheaper than gold. I mean, it was really low. Nobody much wanted it. You know, you got silver or gold. Nobody got the palladium.
Yeah. I've noticed that too. Doesn't seem like a lot of people are in the palladium, but
Well, it's dull. It's a dull gray look to it.
yeah, it is. Like, where I should grab my piece.
I think it makes for terrible jewelry. I think it's just a terrible metal for jewelry.
Oh, here it is. PD palladium. It's a little bit darker gray than like platinum, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Aurora, how do you say this? Argor Horaeus?
Argor Horaeus.
Switzerland. That's what I often do, is play Switzerland. Tiger knows all about that.
Yeah, the fence sitter.
So I got some palladium. Can't say I don't have none. And I sold an extra gram of that, just like I picked up. Let's see which go. See anything about that? You're trying to talk a special guest on the coming on my channel maybe this weekend. Is that me, Broke? When are you gonna have me on your channel, yo? What are you waiting on? What are you holding out on me for? Coins from the Kingdom of Bhutan and Cambodia are awesome. The Lost Tiger series. The Lost Tiger series.
I am not lost. I was working.
I'm not so sure. I think you might be right, Tiger. Of Cambodia, the Bhutan Lunar series. Dude, Gold Maple knows his stuff. Hey, Maple, you do YouTube? You want to come on as a guest for my next auction? Get some of your cool knowledge on the program here. You seem to be able to spit good coin knowledge pretty nonstop. Laos has 3-ounce silver lunar coins with jade. Ooh, that would be cool. I like that. That sounds pretty unique. 3 ounces with jade in it. That is unique. I have to check that out. Maybe you as well in the near future. Cool. Sweet. I'd love to come on there, bro. And I need to get you back on as well. So we need to get you back on here as well. why do I have me? Why am I up here and none of the rest? Well, I guess you guys don't have video up anyway, huh? Let's see some video, yo. What do you got? Oh, you're probably on the road, eh, Tiger?
No, actually, I got home last night around midnight and slept a lot today. Then had to go do some stuff for a potential new employer. That's when I told them because they wanted me to do some computer training on the little bit of free time I had home. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I got things to do. I'm not going to skip on my home responsibilities. And they pushed back. I said, well, take me off the schedule. Wife wants some time with me. I haven't been home. I got things to get done. If you have no respect for me after I've done so much, take me off the schedule.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you are quite busy with the flying around, being a doctor, and having a YouTube channel.
Oh, you cannot believe how much I have to fight to do YouTube.
Yeah,
but I want these days, these times free. Oh, we'll work with you, and then they try to soft shoe you into whatever they want, and I'm like, over time I get harder and harder and harder, and they don't like it, and I'm like, oh, fine, take me off the damn schedule then.
right.
And that tends to work almost as good as my ultimate ace up my sleeve. That they all crack under that one. Believe it or not, I'm not lying to you. The ace up my sleeve is telling them that they have to talk to the wife. They all break.
I can imagine.
The only time they don't break is when they beg her to let me work, and then they start throwing extra money on the table. Like, you know. Oh my goodness, that is so much fun to watch them crack.
Yeah,
I don't appreciate people who don't show me the respect that I deserve after all my hard work. And to be honest with you,
they're taking you for granted.
They're taking me for granted, and they take everybody else for granted. And they all have that mindset, well, we're providing the money, so you should kiss our royal butts. And I'm like, I'm not a trained monkey. In fact, as I'm getting older, I am getting a little bit more hardcore. Let's put it that way.
Hardcore.
Yeah.
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah, this
Cranky might be another one.
What's that?
Cranky might be another one.
No, I'm not the cranky stacker. So.
Oh, okay.
How about melting coins? Oh my, he's melting 1 ounce pieces. I'm going, oh.
Who is doing that?
The cranky stacker.
Oh, yeah.
He's using for the silver. He's using to make stuff. He's melting 1 ounce rounds and eagles and all that other. I'm going, oh man, I hate to see that myself. I mean, and then
that's funny.
Chef melts brand new silverware. I'm going, Chef, you can always get more for the new stuff than the silver content.
Yeah, I told him, and I need to reach back out to him. If he finds like a nice, good new silver set, I mean, I would buy that instead of, I'll pay him a little bit more than what he's going to get for melt.
Yeah, it's always worth more than melt because it's a design piece with a certain pattern. Some patterns are rarer than others, and just because, but man, he's melted some brand new pieces. Then he had a set from like I'd had to tell him what year it was. I think it was 1970. It was art pieces. It had pieces from famous artists. It was a silver set of coins, mint freaking condition. He was going to melt them down. I told him, I said, they're worth a lot more if you keep them in the form they're in now than if you melt them. And I got him to change his mind. But he was going to melt them. I go, I can't look. I said, don't let me know what video that is because I have to turn away when you do that.
Yeah, so Silverboy Blue says, show us your paws, Tiger. We have to verify it's real you. And
I'm not in the studio. I moved my laptop into my study here. That's where I usually take all the stuff that I bought verify it, categorize it, label it, put it in the spreadsheet, and it has by far the most comfortable chair in the house.
Nice.
So, when I go into the studio, the chair is not so comfortable. And I got all my stuff set up for the video. So right now, as we're talking, I'm doing a couple different things. I'm doing my spreadsheet as my worksheet to get them to pay me for the last amount of work that I did. But I'm also setting up for tomorrow's live stream for Stack Collector. So
cool.
I'll be bringing the Indiana Thieves. They'll be back home tomorrow in Indy, and LA Sparks are coming in. So I'll be doing that game tomorrow.
Okay. So you're going to be live streaming talking about girls basketball?
Watching and talking and everything else. That's Hope Clark. I think she'll come back with a strong game. She's really been struggling from the outside right now, but I think she'll come back strong at home. So
awesome.
Yeah, you always got to be careful poking the bee's nest there, Matt. Especially around here,
Well, there's a little truth to that.
And OC Stacker says, paging trained monkey to ER.
He's going to poke the Tiger one too many times.
Yeah, but the pay is they pay in bananas, don't they, Tiger?
You wouldn't believe it that I got called to work the first week in June, and I said no, and they kept pushing. I said, "Listen, you've worked me. By this point, you've worked me 3 weeks in a row. I don't want to work 4. I don't really want to work 3." And they kept keeping up. I told his boss to pound. So in a way, broke. That's kind of what I did. But basically, I said, I have things I got to accomplish. And he still didn't want to hear. So, okay, fine. Pay me time and a half to double time. Because he only wanted to pay me $140 extra a day. Now, pay me time and a half to double time. I know that I'm underpaid by him. So what I was asking for was equivalent to what he pays everybody else. He got so mad, he went and found somebody else and left me alone, which is exactly what I wanted. Right. Leave me alone. I have things I got to accomplish. I'm not just a worker bee.
Here we go after the worker bees now. Everybody's got to be attacking the bees.
Well, I got to start making that be a worker bee because I made comments about the trained monkey, and you got OC Stacker acting like an idiot over there.
79 says, Tiger, as a doctor, are there any meds you could recommend to Nickel for his mental issues?
Yeah, but they all have to be injected in the butt. He's got one of those old men butts. I don't think he has more than 3 fibers back there.
I think it's a plastic bag over the head. I think that's what I think that would cure it.
Gold Maple, that is one scary comment you have there. I'm not sure whether I should believe that or not, but I'm a little nervous. I'll tell you that much anyway. Thanks for stopping in, Broke.
Nice seeing you, Broke.
He stopped in twice. He was here, then I think he had to go, and then he came back.
That's what I've been doing most of the night. When I got back from the house, or from doing the stuff I had to do back to the house, and told the wife about the idiot that called me up on call me impromptu and have me stop what I was doing.
The zookeeper.
Yeah. So basically, I told her about that, and she looked at me and says, "I'm taking you to dinner." Says that you're not allowed to have any carbs. So we went to. I laughed at when she told me where she wanted to go. Said, I just got back from New Mexico, and you're taking me to a Mexican restaurant.
Well, she's thinking about you, right? I mean, that's good.
I got a really great wife. I tease her all the time, but teasing her is only because I love her so much. I guess that means I love Nickel too, because I'm always tormenting her. Don't tell him I said that. My wife looked at me a few years ago and says, "Why don't you divorce me?" I said, "Why would you say this?" Because I irritate you. I said, "Yeah, you do, but everybody else on this planet irritates me more than you do, so I think I'll keep you."
Yeah, Maple, that's still kind of scary. That didn't really help calm my nerves. So my slow is my favorite.
What about?
Oh yeah, I watched that guy too, Silverboy Blues. That's freedom is not. No. Okay. What does he say? Freedom is scary. Deal with it. Well, no. What does he say? Something. I watched that guy too. Anyway, he's a good guy.
I usually just say freedom is never free.
Yeah, that's one. He says it a little bit different, but yeah, it's.
I can tell you now, free healthcare is not free. Anything the government says is free, somebody's paying for
it. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Someone always pays. End of story.
Joseph Lopez says he'll be sharing some great news with me. Oh, good deal, Joseph. I'm hoping I'm guessing what that's about, so that's great to hear. If I'm right, good to hear. Good to hear.
Joseph has had a rough go, and he deserves to have some good stuff.
Cool. Yeah, Silverboy Blue says, yeah, he's great. Freedom is scary. Deal with it. That's what it is. Yep. Yeah, no, he is good. I like that guy as well, Silverboy. Yep. For sure. Which is another sad problem that we have going on right now. It's sad to see that. That's ridiculous that this is the case, but it is true there, Silverboy. Frustratingly so. Healthcare is free in Canada, but wait times to see a doctor are very long. Yeah. I can imagine that.
That's socialized medicine.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's your socialized medicine for you.
Well, it's coming out of the taxes they pay. That's what's paying it. So it's not free.
No, it's not.
Right.
But I'd rather have it go through private industry, because at least in private industry you can follow the money. With with government, they hide the stuff. They redirect it. They mismanage it, either accidentally or on purpose. I'd much rather have a corporation being held to a standard that when they break their rules, they break the law, they're in trouble. Our government breaks the rules and breaks the law. No one's going to be paying penalties for that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Is that your Pegasus?
Yep, that's it. And that's the Min State Athena on the reverse there. And also it's got that little omphalos on the back right that I'm kind of pointing at here in a second right there. That thing right there. That amphalos, that's like a rock that they used to use the oh man, I have trouble thinking of her name sometimes. There was a girl in Greece who you would go to talk to if you got in trouble, like if you were, a king or army general and you're wanting to know if you're going to win the battle or something, you would go see her, and she would talk through this omphalos, this rock that was like kind of hollow, and supposedly there was some gases escaping from this cave where that was at, and she would like go into a trance and give off these visions. And that's what this omphalos, that's what that little symbol on the back represents.
Is that kind of like a soothsayer?
Yep.
Yeah, because the story I remember the most about a war was when Constantine was going to war against another big warlord in the Roman Empire to see who's going to be emperor. And the soothsayer that the opponent went to said, "You're going to win, you're going to win." And then, Constantine, not being a Christian at that time, ended up praying to his mother's God, which was, Jesus, God, the Holy Spirit, and then, the Holy Trinity. And he was told, have the sign of the cross painted on all your soldiers' shields and you will win the battle, which is exactly what happened. And that's what caused him to make Christianity a legal thing. But it all started with a soothsayer telling the opponent, "You're going to win. You're going to win."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the cross isn't really a cross either. Like there's that symbol is on some ancient coins, and it's like a cane. It's kind of a cross, but it's like a cane and a hook, a crook or something. They're like two different symbols that are kind of over each other. But yeah, I know what you're. And that's like got turned into, oh, he's seen a cross, but the original sign is kind of like not like a cross we would think of today, anyway.
I think what you were trying to say is a CIRCE. Is that what you were? That's what I think they called them.
No, it's a very classic story in the Orthodox Church about what happened during Constantine's time.
Yeah, you were talking about what I was saying for the
sorceress. Yeah, sorceress. I think it's in Greek. You talking about a Greek sorceress?
Well, yeah, but I'll tell you what she was called. It's what I'll tell you here in a second when I find it. Let me put this
in. It's pronounced Kirky. Kirky.
The Oracle at Delphi. That's what I'm thinking. And so here, let me share my screen here. Well, I'll just leave it at that anyway. Okay, so this little rock on the right, are you seeing that? What do you guys see?
Yeah, I can see it.
Amphilos right here, kind of like a hollow rock, and
looks like a gigantic head of a bullet.
Right, yeah, and so it was an oracle, is what I'm thinking of, and the oracle at Delphi was like the most famous oracle, and Delphi is like right where the first Olympics was held. And they're the most beautiful ancient coin that I've probably ever seen is a tetradrachm from Delphi. It is absolutely gorgeous. Let me see if I can find that right quick. Yeah, here it is. That's not a good picture of it. Give me a good one here, people. Yeah, so this one just went up and was sold, even though it's cut in half. Like you can still imagine what it looks like. So so there's two dolphins up top, okay, and then there's a ram's head here on the left and a ram's head here. They're like identical but reverse, and those are ram's heads that are actually cups. They were like drink offering cups, they think, that they used to pour like the libations into the temple for their, ceremonies and whatnot. And so these two ram's head, they think they were silver, and they have a name for them, but silver cups, like in there, and I think they found those when they were doing some renovation. Like I think those are known silver cups that go with that. But anyway, that's what they are supposed to represent. And then on the back of it, like there's those 4 NQ squares, and within the NQ squares are 4 dolphins. Each one has a dolphin in it, and they think that was looking up into the ceiling of the temple. They think that that's what that is taking from like this, inside the temple, looking up at the ceiling. You might have seen that imagery, is what they think. I think that's just a beautiful coin, and that's from like the most famous area, right where they started the Olympics from. So anyway,
I wonder what took the chunk out of it.
well, so that was a money or strike. So they were just, hitting the coin with a chisel to see if it was silver all the way through.
Oh.
So, like I have my turtle coin, my Aegina coin has a moneyer's mark, they call it, and it's like a banker you would take when you would take your silver coin, like a stater. Like at this time, that stater would have been quite a bit of money for that time period. And if you were traveling, you would take like a big silver coin like that, and you would take it to, when you would cross into another country or another land, you would take your coin to like the bank or a moneyer, and he would take your coin and he would check it to see if it was legit and silver all the way through, and he would punch it with a chisel or a mark. Most of them had their own stamp, and they'd whack that thing, and if it makes a good cut into the coin and it's silver, then they know, okay, it's a good coin and good for use. And usually they would then put it in their bag and give him in exchange a bunch of smaller copper coins to go buy in whatever city he was in. And that was kind of like the money exchange system of the time. But so lots of the silver coins will have those marks in them. That one was just a really heavy hit that it went all the way through, and it's quite sad to see that on such a beautiful coin, but at the time they probably didn't care.
The guy didn't know his strength.
Yeah. Or he figured it was a fake coin and it was all silver, so it went right through or something. But yeah, now I understand the percentage punch mark. Well, cool, but yeah, that's yeah, I'm not sure if you're talking about the moneyer mark or just the incuse on the back. But and so the earlier, in fact, let me show you here. I can show you this one. The earlier,
yeah, somebody in chat asked you about the turtle coin, but
okay.
A while back. It was a while. They wanted to know if you still had it.
Okay, let me share screen. Okay, so here we have some of the ancient coins. I have it on the back of this third one. Bring that up here where I can see it. So this one right here is the Aegina turtle coin, and so on the reverse of this coin we have a turtle, a sea turtle. But on the earliest ancient coins, they would just have an incuse on the back. This is known as a square incuse with 2 triangles and 3 rectangles, making a square incuse. So the whole thing is kind of square, but it has those different, and that was used to hold the coin in place while they struck it, / give it some authentication, that their incuse is the same or whatever. So, but then after a while, so this Aegina coin is quite old. It's one of my, yes, it is probably my oldest coin, and it's like 5, let's see, what is it here? It is 510 to 500 BC. And so the very first coins minted were like in 650 BC. And this coin is all the way to 510 to 500 BC. So you're like within 100 to 150 years of the first minted coins. And this is one of the turtle does go back to some of the earliest coins minted. It's not the earliest, but it gets right there to it. And this particular coin that I have of this Aegina sea turtle has a moneyer's mark right there, dead center in its back. That little symbol with the incuse punch in it right there. That's a moneyer testing that piece of silver, and he put his bank stamp mark on here, and he blotted out some of the dots that would have been along this turtle's back. So there would have been a couple dots here and a couple right here where that incuse punch is. And then like when you zoom in on this coin, I could get it out and find it, but there you can see there's a dot here, which would have been the very front of the center dots. And the sea turtles, the ancient coins, the earliest sea turtle coins only had one row of dots down its back. The very first coin, sea turtle coin put out, only had a row right down the center of its back. The second edition of sea turtle coin that was put out was this one that you're looking at that I have, and it had the row of dots down its back, but it also right at the front here, it had one to the left, you can see right there, and then one to the right at the front, you can see right there. And that was the second iteration of that was the second design of the sea turtle coin. And so that's what this one I have is the second design of a sea turtle coin, and it has the moneyer mark right there in the center. And this is actually a pretty nice example of an ancient sea turtle coin at a good price. And with this, you're getting all of the appendages, which usually some of this is usually off the flan. Like this has all four legs, the tail, and the head with the eye. Usually something is missing within that. And then like right now, if you go to Harlan J. Burke's site, they have an original. So it was the one that just had the row down its back, and it's like selling for $11,000, but it has the dots on its back, and for each dot you can like pay $1,000, because to get an early coin with all the dots on its back and all the appendages, you're going to be paying a really high price. So this is actually a good example, giving you all the appendages and not absolutely costing a fortune. So, but yeah, okay, so that's that. What else did I miss here? Yeah, I just heard about a doctor that had treated like over 500 people for cancer, and none of them had cancer. He's like going to jail now for misdiagnosing like 500. A whole bunch of people got they got treated and got sick from the radiation and everything. It turned out they never even had it. I mean, holy cow. Wouldn't you be pissed off about that, or what? How often do you pull that trick off, Tiger?
I don't. I'm an ER doctor. When I find something that looks like they have cancer, I tell them the truth and hand them to a specialist, and my job is done.
Yeah. Do you see much cancer then? Quite a bit of it, or what do you see out there?
More than I want to.
Okay.
Skin cancer.
Skin cancer is pretty treatable depending on what it is, unless it's something like advanced basal cell carcinoma, and then you have to have an extensive surgery where they take your skin off bit by bit, send it off to the pathologist, who is looking at it underneath the microscope, quickly feeding the information back to the OR to say, you got it, you don't got it, go further. So that's one skin cancer that's not so fun. Squamous cell usually spreads out over the surface of the skin before it goes deep and starts to metastasize. But it depends on which cancer you're talking about. Pancreatic and ovarian cancer typically. Oh, hi, Amy. But basically, pancreatic and ovarian, by the time they're found, it's metastasized already. It's crap. So that all depends on what's going on. My dear friend Don, God rest his soul, they found it, and he survived 7 years with pancreatic cancer, but that's really rare. But it finally did take his life because it's just by the time you find it, it's all over you. Well, like prostate cancer, which it's a very, very slow cancer. And even if untreated, most people die of old age before they die of the cancer. So it all depends on which one you're up against. And I'm certainly not an oncologist. I will be doing a little bit more cancer personal research, which I might end up doing some educational videos on. But that's to come later. I got one too many projects and too little time.
Right. Yeah. I can feel you on that one. Hey, Amy Harrell, welcome in. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you are well. Cool, Stuart. Patrick Swayze has pancreatic cancer. He went pretty quick. Oh.
Yeah, by the time it's found, it's usually been bad.
Sucky.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna go. I'll leave that where that's at. But yeah, there's some, that doctor that misdiagnosed those 500 patients is of course a horrible story, but that's not the only. I mean, you hear some bad stuff down when you get down on some of those things, and I won't press into it at the moment. But
well, I have to admit there are some bad situations that happen in my field. I remember when I was in my first week of medical school. It was like maybe the second, third day. The second person in charge of the medical school got up on stage and had certain percentages of the class members stand up and say, these many of you will get addicted to drugs. These many of you will go through a divorce. These many of you will have trouble with the IRS. These many of you, and it was just like one big, bad, ugly message after another. And I kept looking at this and I'm like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
I never forget that day. And try not to get myself into trouble like I should, but you never know what you're going to walk into.
Yeah.
I've had administrators come up to me and tell me, you're going to this and you're going to that, and I'm like, do you realize you're telling me how to practice medicine, and that's mandates a mandatory phone call to the medical board? You tell that to administrator, they then put a big bullseye on your chest and try to get you fired over anything quickly.
Yeah. Dropped in that link if anybody in the chat wants to hop up here, chat with us a little bit more before we get going, get off, hang out for a little bit more. If anybody wants to hop up right quick, get in a few words, hop on up. So, how old is this girl that you're following all the time? What's her name? Caitlin Clark.
23.
23. Whoa! So she's getting up there then.
Well,
I mean, playing like this is college she's in now, then, or what?
Oh no, she's in the pros. Indiana Fever. That's the equivalent of the NBA, but for women.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So
obviously not. Don't follow.
Yeah, after 35, they're getting pretty close to the end of their careers.
Okay.
So I don't know how long she'll go. It depends on what injuries she gets. The bigger players tend to, I think, bow out quicker than the smaller players. I think they have more physical ailments than the smaller players do, and I think life catches up with them a lot quicker.
Oh yeah,
knees, your knees pounding, jumping up and down with your knees, ankles, back.
Yep, it's just age, man. It starts getting to you, doesn't it? No matter who you are.
So true.
And only one player. There's only been one player ever, I think, that played past 40 in the WNBA, and that was Sarasi, whatever her name is. She played for the Mercury. She played her whole career there and retired. Oh, Tarasi. And so she made it to age 42. And she missed 1 year. Forgot for what reason. So she only really played. She was 42 when she retired, but she only played actually, I think, 21 years or something. So
That's pretty good, 42.
yeah, but she was past it. Again, she just sat out there on the perimeter. No driving, no rebounding. I mean, it was basically a few passes and 3-point shots is basically what she did in her later years. That's about all she could do. So Michael Jordan played until he was 40. Now, he could have gone another 3. He probably would have averaged 12 points a game, 10 points a game. And he didn't want his 30-point career average to go below that, so he quit. But he could have probably played another 2 or 3 years if he wanted to.
Yeah, he was impressive. There's some Larry Bird. He was impressive to watch. Jordan, he was impressive. There's a few people that you're like, man, they're just always impressive to watch.
I was watching this one thing on YouTube where they ranked the top basketball players of all time, and they labeled him as number 2.
Larry Bird?
No.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Larry Bird was 1 or 2 steps underneath Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
But I was really amazed to find out who they labeled was the top one of all time, Magic Johnson.
What?
Well, I'll tell you why.
That's because of the PR that he was going through.
First of all, Jordan was overrated. He shot the ball too many. He also was like 7th all time in most missed shots. He didn't pass the ball like he should have. And he's overrated. His shooting, he's like 400th in the league in shooting all time. That's not good. You shouldn't be number 1 at that. But Magic Johnson, the reason he's so great is he played guard. He was 6'10", and he played guard. But he also, when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had to step down with an injury, he played center and did outstanding. He was the most valuable player. So he could play forward, center, and guard. Jordan could not do that. Jordan can play guard and small forward. He could not do the center job. So that's why probably Magic was so versatile. He was just so versatile, and he was one of the best passers I've ever seen in my life. And to keep the little guys from stealing the ball from him, it was phenomenal. I mean, he basically had to bend over level to keep that ball away from the little guards from stealing it from him. So he was a phenomenal player. He was once in a lifetime type deal. I've never seen anybody that big play guard. So
how would you compare him to Wilt Chamberlain, who was a big name when I was a kid?
Wilt Chamberlain definitely is the top 5 player all time. That guy scored 100 2 or 3 times in his life, and Jordan never did that. And he was an unbelievable specimen of athleticism, as he was he was the strongest guy most people ever met. And he could block shots. He was above the rim. He could block shots. He could score 100 points if you needed. People used to compare him to Bill Russell. Bill Russell was a great defensive player, a team player, passed the ball a lot, didn't have a whole lot of scoring average because he was a team guy. He got his other players involved. He won more championships that way. But I think Wilt did not like to be compared to him. And so it was one game Wilt said, I'm not going to score any points. I'm going to do everything else but that to prove he could do it. But he was an unbelievable volleyball player. He was one of the best professional volleyball players to ever play. When he quit basketball, he went to play professional volleyball. And the guy was just a superior athlete. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anybody his size that good an athlete. I mean, he could just pick you up one-handed. I mean, the guy was incredibly strong. And he was a great defensive player. He was a great scorer. And he got bored with basketball. So, if he would have stayed and played more years, I think he would have been the all-time scorer. I don't think he would have been caught. I mean, because the guy was just an unbelievable player.
Huh.
I think he gets penalized because he didn't play as long as most. And I think that's why he gets penalized a lot. But a great player. Definitely a top 5. He's definitely the greatest all-around big man ever play. And then you got to put Bill Russell there because he won so many. He only played 13 years and he won 11 rings? Yeah, I think 11 rings in 13 years. That's phenomenal. That'll never be done again. There'll never be any athlete that will so dominate with the team that you'll win that many championships in that short a period of time. I mean, he's phenomenal too. And I will say this: the Bill Russell Celtics from the '60s would beat the crap out of the Jordan and Pippen-led Bulls of the '90s. It would be no competition. The Bulls might win one game in the series because that team did everything: shoot free throws, rebound, score. They did everything. For 10 years, they were just the most dominant team ever in the NBA. The Celtics. And boy, if you know who was here, next Coins, I like that nickel. Yeah, that's what she'd say.
Yes. Who was that little short guy for the Celtics? Was he? No, he was for the Hornets. Who's that little Webb Johnson?
Oh, Bugsy.
Bugsy, yeah. He was a little guy, but he could move around.
And Spud Webb. Spud Webb could dunk. He won the dunking contest one year.
Yeah, maybe that's who I'm talking about. Can't remember which one it was, but
Mosey Bogues was the other little guy. He had a pretty good career. You know what you use them for? It's when you're up by 20 points, 6 minutes to go, you send the little munchkins in, and they run around like a chicken got its head cut off. Nobody can catch them to foul them and eat all your time off. They're excellent for that.
Is that anything like watching them when they're kids? And you got the tall kids and you got the small kids, and the small kids will sneak up behind the tall kids and steal the ball right between their legs.
Well, there was a video out of Clark when she was like 5 or 6. She goes between the guy. This guy Gardner is, full grown. She goes in between his legs, puts the ball up, and it goes in. And so everybody knew she was going to be phenomenal sometime down the line. So it's a really cute video of her doing that. I mean, she was a slickster even back then. And she'll figure out a way to beat you. She's got a high basketball IQ. She will be a coach someday. She's something that she knows the rules. She tells the officials. Officials give her a technical. I go, he might. I would tell her, I said, you're right. But you don't show the official up like that. You showed him up. He's going to give you a technical for that.
Yeah.
But you're right. Sometimes you get in trouble for being right. That's kind of same with your parents.
Yeah.
Correct your dad and see what happens. Later, he might say, yeah, you were right about that. At the time, he's going to beat your butt because he don't want you showing him up like that.
Right.
So,
I can imagine what your childhood was like, Nickel.
I got whippings. I can guarantee you that.
That's because he's trying to steal someone's balls.
Yeah, I did too. That was probably good for me. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate y'all hanging out. I had a good time, and thanks for popping up here, Mr. Rhino and Tiger Stacker.
I had a great time.
Greatly appreciated. Thanks, everybody, hanging out in chat. Had a great time. Gold Maple, thanks for all the great info. Matt, thanks for hanging. It's good seeing you in here. Broke. OC Stacker 79. Appreciate you hanging out. Always a good time. Silver Boy Blues.
But before we leave, if I had to pick between Jordan and Larry Bird, who I pick Larry Bird. He's a more versatile player. He could pass, shoot.
Yeah, Larry Bird. I really enjoyed watching because he was just his passes were one of the funnest things to watch.
Behind the back, through the legs. He would pass it through the other player's legs to somebody, and they would score.
Right. He was all the way around. He was fun to watch.
He once shot a running 3. So in other words, he ran, jumped behind the 3-point line, and shot the ball moving toward the basket and hit it. I think he won a game doing that. So the guy could make unbelievable. He shot behind the backboard a couple of times and hit it. So definitely, he doesn't go in the air for 10 seconds and do over the head dunk. He was just simple one-handed dunks for the most part. But the guy fundamentally, and IQ, basketball IQ. And not only was he successful as a professional player, he went on to coach successfully. He had a winning record, and he went on to be a general manager successfully. So the guy all the way around was a basketball guy. The guy, you can't beat him. I mean, you know. So, yeah, I would definitely pick Bird over Jordan any day of the week.
Yeah. Yeah, I check Stacker, Welch Co. Services, Truth Seeker. Who else did we get in here as I'm scrolling around? Emerald Coast Stacker, Bellows Forge, Gulf Veteran. Thanks for stopping in earlier. Appreciate you. Who else do we got in here? Rockamos and Hambone. Who else did we get in here? I think that was about the Broke Stacker. I think our Space Miner. Oh, and John Camper, JT Coin Ring.
If it's okay with you, I'm going to put a little plug in. Tomorrow, we're going to do Stack Collector, Frostbite, and I just set up the live stream at 7 p.m. tomorrow. So everyone's invited to come. The whole concept of Stack Collector is the benefit that can come between a friendship between a more traditional stacker and a more traditional collector / numismatist, and how the both people from both parts of our community can benefit from each other. That's the concept of the whole line, and you're welcome to come and visit us. So
Cool. Gatito Oso, thank you for stopping in. Joseph Lopez. And yeah, 888 the Great, appreciate you. And yeah, go check out Tiger Stacker tomorrow. I think the Thursday nights in general is the Stack Elector. So go check out Tiger Stacker. And
this time it's going to be on my channel. 2 weeks after that, it'll be on Frostbite's channel.
And yeah, Frostbite Coins and Collectibles. And then yeah, Tiger, we're gonna have to do a live ourselves here. We need to.
Yeah, it's been a while. You forgot to show me the love.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, so let's plan one of those for the upcoming future, and we can get into some more nitty-gritty stuff. And
oh yeah.
And that should be fun. All right, everybody, thank you so much, and we will catch you all on the next one.
And remember, your next show that you have like this, you will have your brand of.
Yes, we should have Osmium Nectarin by the next auction. We should be officially running our new line of Osmium Nectar, the most efficient way to stack.
Crystallized Osmium, and I might be buying it one, so we'll see.
Well, if it ranks up there with your lip balm, I'm in.
All right, well, it's gonna blow right
I
past
like
that.
your lip balm, especially with New Mexico dry air.
Awesome. Good stuff. Yeah, no, this is gonna be a whole new level. So yeah,
and then your honey line, when you get your bees set up, you'll have to sell your honey on here too.
Right.
Don't tell him that. His wife might want to stay at the house.
All right, thanks everybody. See you on the next one.
See you later, guys.
Later.